told story is a very unusual one. I hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, it isn't the car that kills, it's the driver. This is Broderick Crawford saying, see you next week.
Perfect.
The inadequacies of reality always set in. There's pipelines carving up this coast like a jigsaw. Place is gonna be underwater in 30 years.
You wonder ever you're a bad man?
No, I don't wonder, Morty. World needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door.
Anthony Greeno.
Anthony Greeno.
Anthony Greeno.
Anthony Greeno.
Tell the viewers here how they can find your social media and all that stuff.
It's easy to interview these guys. Alex Voorhies, he's a friend of mine.
Alex is tremendously interesting to me. Tremendously interesting.
And you guys have no idea how many cases that he has put tips in on that not only legit, I mean, they're working some of these hard and tying things together.
What's going on? YouTube, Facebook, what's going on? YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or wherever the hell you're from. This is Anthony Rainey Greeno, keeping it Southern style. Can't stop, won't stop.
And he doesn't have a law enforcement background. He's just super smart, you know. And he's got his shit together, man. I told him he needs to start his own channel. He's very interesting all the way around to start with. But he knows his shit. And when he puts a tip in, law enforcement, they're starting to know who he is, not just locally. He lives in California.
Oh, I didn't even know where he lived. I actually thought he was always like from Indiana or something because he was always like in the middle of it. Yeah, I didn't know he was from out there. Cool.
And dude, you just know that because this is like the Delphi circuit, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, this is clearly not for them. So, apparently, Anthony Greeno, again, a highly controversial figure in the Delphi case. I mean, this supposed local who knew a lot of these people, directly connected to a lot of these people, RAG, MB, JP, CM, GKAG. Kurtz told Open Secrets.
Absolutely not. I don't have a suspect in this case. I believe that the person that we're looking for is someone that nobody really suspects. It's going to be that person that you just think is a nice guy. And I just don't feel that it's a criminal. I think that it's the guy hiding in plain sight that's right there in front of us. You never know. Maybe he shows up to some of these things sometimes and we wouldn't even know it. So I want to say thanks, everybody.
There's true crime all over YouTube. You'd be amazed how many channels there are and how great they are.
Yeah.
But he's involved with a lot of things, man. That cat's on it. He's on it. I told him I'm going to call him Butter because he's on a roll.
Yeah. Jinx, I agree. I like Al. He's super interesting, and anytime he's on anybody's show, I'm into it. And he's like you and like me, as far as I'll talk to anyone or go on with anybody. This guy did this in the past. Well, okay, well, I can only judge people how they treat me or what I think. So, you know, if a creator says, hey, don't talk to this guy or that guy, like, well, I'm going to be friends with you and them because if they have information, why wouldn't I, you know, try to get it out of them? But I think Alex is like that, you're like that, and I try to be like that. Like, I'll talk to anybody. if you're not friends with this one and that one, but I'm friends with both of you, like don't put me in the middle of it. Let's get some shit done and figure it out. Alex.
Okay, I mean, we're going into real mind shock land here. Again, trigger warning for all the goofs who can only listen to words on law enforcement reports. I mean, this is clearly not for them. So, apparently, Anthony Greeno, again, a highly controversial figure.
I don't think that man can love. At least not the way that he means. The inadequacies of reality always set in. This pipeline is covering up this coast like a jigsaw. The place is gonna be underwater in 30 years.
Tell me, how's everybody doing? Oh my god. It's Saturday night. Oh goodness gracious. We've had this plan for just a little while, about a week and a half, and I'm just so super excited, man. I see a lot of you guys coming in the chat. Super happy to see you. If you guys don't know who I am and you're here to see Greeno or Alex Voorhies, my name is Nick Graziano. I used to go by Real Chill Graz. That was my YouTube channel name. And we thought that we would come on here and hang out with you guys for an hour or two and just talk about anything going on in the community on your guys' minds. There's no boundaries, no limits. You guys can ask anything. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring on my partners in crime tonight, Mr. Alex Voorhies and Mr. Anthony Greeno. This should be a really good one. Let's get him on here. Boom.
Oh man, it's one for the history books, man. How you doing?
What's going on, YouTube? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
or wherever the hell you're watching from, even if you're on Mars with Elon Musk. What's up, everybody? How you doing?
I had to add Deshaun Harmon's son in there. It was a nice tribute. He was so funny, man. He was so funny.
I love that guy. Man, that is so sad, dude. It's like, oh man, I was like, no, dude.
We didn't put their links in the description. Let's give a shout out to Ruckus Rocks True Crime.
Ruckus. I love that guy, man.
And who was the other guy? His name is Coach Kev. Coach Kev True Crime, I think.
Coach Kev too. Love that guy too, man.
I know those two guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was doing the intro, I like their streams. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. I'm glad I came back, in the Delphi circuit because I met a lot of, good people. Right? Yeah, Ruckus definitely one of my favorites. I'm gonna talk to Tom Webster, Professor, Purdue RN, just a lot of people. Yeah, I'm glad I came back. Glad I came back around. And then also as above, so below. His crew, I love him, man. I'm sorry. I love them, man.
Oh, dude.
They're good.
Oh, my God, Alex. What did you do here? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, dude.
God damn it, Alex. No, just kidding. Dude.
Jamie, who's the other one?
Spreading more love instead of hate might be the answer. You never know.
Okay, yeah, I'm sitting here reading everybody's comments. What's going on? Trust and Justice, Victoria, Slim TV. Look, a lot of these people I don't know, so if I don't recognize you, sorry.
Yeah.
A lot of
we're
new
up to
people
no
in this
good tonight.
now.
That's the truth. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I like what you said. You met a lot of good people in the Delphi community. Like, it's really easy for me to look at it as a whole and get negative or think about all the craziness. But you're right.
Yeah.
Man. There's a lot of good people around here.
There are. Dude, there's thousands of people we've met, really. I mean, people across the world have come together and linked up and met up in person, or at least through social media, or personal phone calls and emails and stuff like that. It's like, wow, man, there's a lot of cool people that you can meet just through one incident.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of cool. What's up, Courtney Big Man Audits?
Yeah.
A Lafayette local.
Ed Bounds was in the True Crime Pursuit podcast, or however that podcast. Shout outs to all those people who were in the intro. I didn't put any links to you guys.
Man, speaking of Ed Bounds is going to be on my show coming up this week with a panel of individuals.
Yeah.
Hello, Lauren.
Man, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, man.
I
Yeah.
know. So what's up, guys? What's new on the table? What's been on your mind?
All right. Yeah, last time I did the Ruckus interview, I didn't watch the Coy Cox interview all the way through. They're looking into Carol Daniels. The 5-minute mark of the Ruckus interview with Coy Cox, he's talking about Carol Daniels, and that was included in my Delphi tip, and I mentioned it in 35 minutes into the Trendifier interview. And so what that says about Delphi, so as of now, Stevenson's Delphi is not connected, right? I gave him like 7 different murders. Some were like Hitman-esque, some were Jack the Ripper-esque, and those ones were like kind of religion, and they had like a bunch of overlays. So the fact that they, I mean, it's no secret about the non-secular stuff and all that. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but the fact that whole grab, Delphi and Carol Daniels says a lot, kind of about all 3 crime scenes. But yeah,
this is part of what I like about the true crime community. Everybody kind of, if you mention a case, some people are like local to it. If you have a big enough community, or true crime buffs just kind of like, oh, I remember that case. Yeah. Then you might learn something you didn't know. What was that about the Carol Daniels case? Was it just kind of freaky, and like there were some similarities, so you just kind of throw it in there with them? Like you said, you got like 6 or 7 cases that were kind of...
Yeah, there was that famous psychic post that I never got to who was behind it. And that website's been deleted, that article, for the first time in years. So I don't know what's going on, but it's been archived, web archived. But they mentioned Oklahoma in there. But they also mentioned Evansdale, so it could be just, by coincidence. But when I searched up Oklahoma,
I think
and similar keywords,
a lot.
Yeah, exactly. When I searched up Oklahoma and similar keywords I was using to find the other ones, Carol Daniels popped up, and then that one makes more sense to be connected to Stevenson's, even though Stevenson's is closer because it's like off a trucker highway, near it. Her church was, and then it's elderly, and then pastor things. So they may have some luck with that. And then like ironically, the most recent one, Katie Janess, and the furthest back one, one of the furthest back ones was Great Bend Bakery murders, and I think it was Florence Salon murders. And the Florence Salon murders, the dude was dressed like Jack Ripper, like just like him. Like if you look at the sketch, it was just like it. And it was kind of similar. The whole like they're keep doing the whole secrecy thing that is common today, yeah, but it wasn't common back then. And
right,
Coy Cox, he's put in a lot of work over the years. Like he's tried to every time somebody said this case, been in a lot of states, a lot of cases. But I think he's like the exception, not the rule, because it kind of shows that the whole like database linking that's supposed to be going on for cases, I don't think it's like working that well, to be honest, dude. Because like there's definitely a delay on that type of stuff. And you only see like if you see local really working on it and not so much federal, then it gets it's kind of disheartening. You're like, oh, are these databases even being used, or like what's going on? But FBI does an amazing work. Like Idaho, they did amazing work. They're like good at when they're like assisting a case right from the get-go. They do really good. Serial killers, it should be.
That's because they got control of it and they've got more resources.
Yeah, that's what they excel at.
The databases thing is always really weird to me. Like 2 of them that come to my head are CODIS and VICAP, and I think CODIS might just be like DNA. Like it might not be like
CODIS is whatever, like a database.
DNA.
Like the thing I heard about VICAP, that's where they share like signatures and stuff like that, like for unsolved crimes. It's weird to me that some states or jurisdictions don't use them. Like, are they not? They're not forced to use them or something like that. Like, not everybody.
Yeah, you hear rumors of what was that? Yeah, like you hear a couple rumors that like DNA, when it was supposed to be entered in the 90s and 2000s, it wasn't entered in, and so a lot of crimes could have probably been solved that way. Sometimes like when something new is
Yeah.
implemented, it delay for like it to be enforced or people take it seriously. So you never know, man. You never know the reasons. But even like genealogy, you see like there's a lot of cases out there that could be solved by genealogy, and then it's like funding or the police don't want to bother with it because they're like
Well, they can't.
focused.
They can't.
And you
now.
see that in Florida. Yeah, and those laws stop them.
It's a
'cause,
privacy
like,
issue. So there was an interview online that talked about that, actually, about using the ancestry and like the genealogy. So you can use genealogy, but you can't. So you can't just go into like a ancestry or 23andMe and submit a DNA sample and see everybody that connects to, because
Yeah.
they did have it like that at one point in time, but they changed that because of privacy issues. Somebody got arrested because of that, and they had ended up like suing them, or there was some civil litigation that was put forth against these people. And I know that I think it's 23andMe and GEDmatch. They decided that they were going to give people an option that if they wanted to allow law enforcement to submit the, be able to use their DNA to help solve crimes, they could, but they were opted out of it. You see what I'm saying? They opted everybody out, and only there was like only 6,000 people that opted back in. You know what I mean? Because they didn't know. Most people, when you go on Ancestry, you go on there one time, you submit your DNA, you see everything, and you set up all your settings that time, but you never ever go back to set up those settings again, right? So when it opts you out of it, and you wanted to be a part of that program, there was no email sent out or anything saying, "Hey, we stopped you from being able to, use your DNA for law enforcement to solve crimes like cold cases." And so they can't do that anymore because it's a Fourth Amendment violation. But they're still going to try to figure it out, I'm sure.
That's what I feel.
It is.
Log reveal is going to be wiped out definitely within the next couple of years. But yeah, it already got used to what I hoped it would get used for. It's already like solved missing persons and murder cases, but that's the whole thing. Like it can only go back so far, but for like suspects they had that were serious, you could see like who they associated with, any hidden devices they had in their house and where those go. Like, this is just theory, but like let's say Ron Logan people, like if he dumped anything or hung out anywhere since, far back as it went in 2017, I think it's like June 2017. So if he dumped anything else or revisited the bridge at a certain time, or anything like that, had any hidden devices or anything, it'll show it. Same with Richard, Richard and all that. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna be around. You're gonna, kick that out, dude. Yeah, there's a lot
if
of
you guys had
stuff
to
out
pick,
there, man.
Like, if you guys had to pick your favorite YouTuber or news reporter or something, doesn't have to be Delphi. Like, who's your guys' go-to for like podcasts? Like, I like Joe Rogan. I think it's probably my guy. Trying to think.
Okay, so if I was to pick like the personality of somebody, mine would be that I don't remember his name, man. I think it's Wolchek or something like that. Maybe it's John Wolchek in Michigan, I think he is. He's an investigative journalist, okay, and he like catches people slipping, man, bad. Like, I mean, he hunts you down. This dude is like what I want to be, okay, on YouTube. He's the guy that like, okay, you ain't been showing. You're a local official, okay. You're a judge, and this judge hasn't been showing up to work, okay. And so he's like, all right, man, we're gonna find out why this judge ain't coming to work and get paid for it, So he shows up, and they're not there, or he calls them and they're like, oh yeah, I'm not in town, right? And then so he's sitting outside in a car with hidden cameras, and they see him leave, or he's filming them, and he's like, look, they're working in their yard or they're swimming in the pool. And so he keeps all that footage, and then he just finally confronts the people, and he's like, all right, so check this out. So you lied on this day, and I caught you, and people want to know, why are you working on their dime when you're not doing shit? And they have to answer to that, dude, and he puts them on the wall of shame.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's rough, dude. Yeah, there's some good stuff like that out there.
Yeah, I like people are too quick to say vigilante when they describe, like, what do you call it? Like, I was saying, like, ethical hacking or, like, investigative journalism. Some people like have to take it into their own hands because it won't be
Yeah,
answers.
they don't expect it. Yeah, they get a little too brazen out there sometimes. Like using accounts, related to like a murder or something. They're still using it like years later. It's like, what are you doing out here? Yeah, they were doing like,
cops have too much red tape. I think too much of that.
Yeah, they do that too. Yeah, they do. Yeah, and they got to listen not only the red tape in the city or this is going on. They have to be mindful, or yeah, they get it from all sides. Everybody. Yeah. So. Yeah, I get pretty schizo on whether I'm like anti-police or pro law enforcement. It's like whatever's like best for the task at like helping whoever's in need, like at hand, I'll like go with that for the most part. Yeah, I'm pretty nuanced with what I do.
That's what drew me to you a lot. A lot of my friends talked about how you were, chill, talk to them, helped them out with their stuff, and then I sent the wrong email to Trendfire. Thought that was you, and then I was like, he just doesn't want to talk to me. Oh well. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, Trendfire.com. That's me, man. Yeah. That the podcast isn't even called Trendfire anymore. He changed the name.
Julian Doherty.
So like the biggest podcast I've been on. Yeah, it doesn't even exist anymore. He's a cool dude.
Dude,
he's a cool dude.
His guests are amazing. They've had crazy ass stories. You fit right in. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think he'll blow up eventually. He just got to get those crazy guests on more, and then he'll be all right. Yeah.
Well, look, you are a personality, man. Alex, you're a personality.
Yeah, man.
You are I don't know how you came into this. How did you come into this at all?
It's like a ping pong thing, dude. So let me tell you
how did you start with that? You weren't there a year ago. Well, you were there, but you weren't there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it started. I was behind the scenes, but it started with that stupid. It's actually a great magazine article, the Xbox Underground one. And then I was like, damn, I want that type of lifestyle, something. So I made a bunch of cyber criminal friends in gaming, and then all this craziness happened. I had like betrayals and success and, a lot of good, like genuine friends. And they taught me a lot of stuff. And then when people would start asking me for help, I'd know how to find people faster or rectify stuff faster with like new stuff I learned. And then I helped my friend with one issue, finding somebody that was doing on some bad business. And then, I took care of that. And then my friend told me, he's like, well, you should help with cold cases. And then I typed in cyber sleuthing. This was like really late 2020 and then early 2021. And Delphi popped up. There was an article saying like that the police were fed up with the cyber sleuthers at the time or something.
Oh, man.
And then I saw the famous video and I'm like, damn, dude, this is like insane. Like it looks like it looked like a shroom trip or something, just like because the pixelation thing and the forest and stuff, something about it drew me in where I'm like, yeah, this is like somebody worth catching, and then obviously what he did to Abby and Libby, that was bad, man. And like lost to anybody that young, it's like primal, you got to do something, no matter what. But that was when I was chipping away at.
Ruckus said it. You kind of just said it. Like for someone with your background, you'll find something a lot quicker than anyone else online. The normal person. So when we're talking about Richard Allen, when that news broke, how much did you like? It's so hard to find anything of him. Were you able to find any kind of footprint of him, like anywhere online?
No, the only thing that I had clairvoyance on, which a lot of other people did, is that he would be caught soon. Like, I said that in the Fig interview, and then I knew he was still alive. And here's how I knew he was still alive. Because if he died, there'd be some shred of something on his phone or in his closet. And
who? Richard Allen?
The bridge guy, any bridge guy, and that the family or daughter would run the news with it, because how kids are these days. They like, they don't care about their parents once they pass. They like turn them in, and I know this goes against the Ron Logan theory, but this is what I was thinking in my head. I'm like, if he died, somebody
Well, it's
would.
not Ron Logan anyway.
Yeah, well, somebody would turn him in to, find something and be waving it around like the golden ticket and Willy Wonka, like they had like, something for news article or something. So I had a feeling like he was alive, and I said that like in the it was so crazy, dude. I said it that Sunny interview October 9th. I'm like, I know he's alive. I know. I was saying,
Very unusual.
I was like a
I hope you'll
crackhead,
be
dude. But yeah, that's about it, man. Other than that, the only thing that's pretty easy prediction to make was that if he was still alive, is that he was watching. Obviously, I mean that's an easy prediction to make, but yeah, I will say another easy prediction that's not hard to make, and I could be wrong on this, but I think sometime this late spring, until like around August time, I think we're gonna get like a big like leak out like through WTHR or something. I've said it a couple times, but it's not that hard a prediction to make because it's like saying this summer it might rain. It's like not really. With everything, all things considering, it's pretty easy prediction to make. I think we're going to get something. But if we don't, I mean, obviously it's coming eventually, but yeah, I think this summer, it just seems like summertime. A lot of stuff always happens with Delphi for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's all random.
What do you think is going to happen? Delphi is random. It's like a twist thrown into it all of a sudden.
I think
they'll let him go and go arrest
WTHR
some other dude.
Yeah, we won't get like a tabloid thing. We'll get like a WTHR that like will fill in a lot of the holes, I think, on stuff, on like either motive. Yeah, or like who ratted him out, if he got ratted out, or how they actually got to him in October. Because like the stories I've heard, they said
dude,
like,
if it ever comes out in any documents, it's over with. Yeah, we'll have that right away.
Yeah, no, it's quite that long. Yeah,
I try to put it in my head.
Yeah, Lauren Williams. Yeah,
I try to wonder, like, how would Lone Wolf make any sense? It just doesn't to me in my head. I just can't make it make sense.
What, for Delphi?
Yeah, like I can't see Richard Allen doing it alone. Like, I'm not saying
who else was seen out there. That's the thing.
No, I believe in my mind he's Bridge Guy and he murdered them. When they said like there might be other actors or more tentacles, it made me like really sussy inside.
So I think that could mean multiple things.
Yeah, it's bad. Dude.
You know what I mean? That could mean multiple things. I think that could mean okay. When we think of that, we think there's two people at the crime scene, and this one killed him, and this one killed him, right? Or this one didn't, and this one did. Something like that is what we think of. But really, an actor in the crime doesn't necessarily have to be anybody who was even there.
Yeah.
It could have been Klein catfishing, planning to meet, was somehow connected to this guy that is into the same kind of stuff, or they're in some kind of group, or they know each other somehow. Because you got to think, man. He lived by Peru, and they got married. I mean, they were in Peru all the time. You know what I mean? Allen was Richard Allen. So he's in Peru all the time.
That psychic post.
What psychic?
Yeah,
post?
The psychic post. The one that. Yeah, I have to say so. Now I'm not one of them, but I'll tell you this. So that psychic post, I don't think it was a real psychic. I think it's somebody that knew something. So they were like kind of trolling, but they had said a lot of things that rang true. Like there was a lot of misdirection, but they said something about him going fishing, and they also said he liked to troll people online, like young girls online. So, I'm kind of thinking if there was a lure at all, it might have been like what I told that Dustin Andrew guy. It might have been a ricochet where, it's like one of those Chan sites where somebody's like, "Oh, look, this is from Indiana, blah blah blah." This person, and then somebody like jumped on that was checking that. So. That's a possibility too, but the fact that he put that in there, in that post, I found like very weird. But yeah, that was trippy, and the fact that it got taken down, it's been up for years, and it just got taken down, and none of their older articles got taken down like that, and I thought that was weird too. Like, maybe somebody asked them to take it down, something like that. But yeah, it's crazy no one ever tipped in.
On the topic of old posts, I remember you refresh my memory on that 4chan post. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, that somebody was saying all the Richard stuff, but you know, like Rick's name made a good point. They would have said Ricky. It's like if it was someone that truly knew him, unless they were like playing a lot of games, they would have said Ricky or Rick. And I think if they're going to be that bold, they might have done that. But the whole thing of it is if it is Richard Allen, you know, and they have more, you know, that we haven't seen or whatever, then that definitely isn't helping his case. But yeah, as it stands now, you know, that post is like very similar to all the fireman posts that, you know, you've seen over the years accusing so-and-so of being at the bridge or being the killer, you know, they're a fireman or, you know, it's kind of in that realm of stuff. But yeah, it's out there. If people want to see it, it's out. There's a couple weird 4chan posts out there that are pretty cryptic that don't even mention a Richard, and, you know, they're out there.
Do you remember after the day of that press conference?
Are you talking about what?
No, go ahead. Are you talking about psychics?
No, there was this person pretending to be a psychic, I think, so they could use it as a cover to say all this whack stuff. That a lot of it rang true. Like they mentioned the gun, and it was on this website called Data Lounge. And it's web archived out there.
The thing I don't like about some of the psychics, you know, but some of the things I don't like about the psychics is okay. Yeah, maybe you got a lot of things right? Okay, but how many things did you get wrong? Okay,
no,
because I got a lot of
things
right too.
You know, we figured out I'm saying, let's say I committed a crime, and I wanted to admit it, but act like in the third person. Then I would say, like, let's say I took some like M&Ms from a store, and I'm the one that did it, right? Then I would, and I wanted to brag about it, but not confess to it. I would say, well, psychic said someone stole M&Ms from that store. That's basically what happened. I'm not saying the psychic used their abilities to freaking, you know, on that one, you know. I'm saying it was a troll. It was like a brag in a way, and it had a lot of truth mixed in with a lot of BS, but the stuff that rang true, like, really rang true. And so I definitely, like, there was BS, like I think the Evansdale stuff and, you know, other stuff. But
I mean, there's with every case. There's with every case. I mean, there's going to be all that, I think. The thing is,
every theory has that. Yeah.
The thing is, and sometimes police use psychics, like, to work on case. I think they did in the Stevenson case. But, like, okay, so I don't understand that, because you could think, yes, let's say they get some aspects of it right, okay? Well, how many did they actually get wrong? You know what I mean? Because I could sit around and say, man, I got this right. You know, I guessed where he parked his car, you know, before they said that. And, you know, this, or the direction that he came from, you know, or left from, and everything like that. Some of those things I had right, but it's like I had a lot more wrong about this than I did right. You know what I mean? Man, I was totally believing about the lady. You know, that lady is still screwing me up in my head. Like, I was sitting here talking to a family member about that. Man. Like, I was like, man, dude, like, because I found a video. Oh, yeah, and I want to talk about that piece of evidence that I believe might be a cryptic message to the suspect. But I was watching some videos, right? Because I was going through and looking up some videos because I was going to remake the Delphi documentary, because that was a good hit and it had a lot of good information in it. And I think a lot of these new people would benefit from seeing those videos, right? What happened in the Delphi case from start to finish, all the crazy stuff, everything, you know, and a lot of news articles and stuff like that. So, while watching that, I thought, I wonder what I could do differently here, because this whole time I based my theory and what I thought was true, and I know a lot of people banked on it, was that lady walking her dogs that saw him, because she said she described what the guy looked like. You know what I mean? Like, she said, this is what he looks like, a thin goatee, he had a hat on, but I didn't know what kind, a blue jacket. And then they come out with a sketch that looks exactly like what she says. And Kim Riley said she at the press conference, right? Which was like, okay, and she said she was scared that the suspect could identify her. And that's exactly what he said at the press conference. And it's like, okay, that's totally the right woman. He corroborated her story with his press conference, basically. and it was total crap. You know what I mean? Just total crap. And it's like,
Yeah,
wow,
I haven't a lot.
Well, honestly, like when I heard about the new podcast that the Murder Sheet put out called Muddy Bloody Witness, they said that they can exclusively verify that she was the one and only source that came from the first sketch. And in my mind, I'm just disagreeing. I just don't believe that. I think it was a composite sketch. Maybe a few people were like agreed upon one. I don't think that Muddy Bloody who was driving by was the only one who provided
no, there's no way.
That.
It's also, I'm going to say it's also the lady that walked down to the bridge and saw him standing on the platform. You know, they looked at each other. He didn't just stand there and look away from her the whole time.
I just heard it with my own ears that Murder Sheet said that as a fact, and I was like, no, not really. Probably.
I have not listened to one single thing of Murder Sheets. It came on one night when I flipped to the next video or something, and I was like, I heard it for a second, and I just turned it. I'm like, okay, this is,
they used to be the golden standard. You know, in some ways they still kind of are. It's just,
what do you mean? Because they have they have realistic information.
Realistic information, and they've been for instance, they didn't just say what they thought. They were willing to. They told Keegan and Tony, hey, if we lied about you, we want you to clear this up. You can tell your side. We're doing our journalist thing. But the sources that they have kept piling up, and it just turned into like everybody else claiming to have a source. And it just is one of the things, my pet peeve in this community is the sources.
I'll tell you what, Murder Sheets,
well,
they put in a lot of work, but I'll say the transcript I went off of to find the people I found, it didn't have a watermark on it, and that's it. But, yeah. I can't discredit other people's stuff, but at least the effort they put in a lot of effort. So, yeah, I get, I had a lot of dud leads and dud, like the San Diego fake BG, that was freaking bogus, and everybody's telling me before I went there, they're like, this is stupid, like, what are you doing, like, and it ended up being bogus. And a lady, it seemed like she wanted to get her friend arrested or something, and I'm like, the dude's just into true crime, dude. It's like, come on, man. But yeah, that's the type of stuff. I know you guys had that yeah, I didn't tell him. I didn't have the heart to tell him when I met him. I told him that his friend wanted me to do a welfare check. I didn't tell him that his friend wanted him arrested. And I'm like, oh, man.
Same thing.
Yeah, he would have been pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of a good question. Can you guys see an excuse for this one?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't arrest him, man. It's like, why?
Yeah, I agree that. That was fishy. The whole October, conservation officer, dealing with everything, that's all fishy. And then the multiple people thing, and it's like, if there's multiple people, it's fishy, you haven't caught him yet. If there's not multiple people, it's fishy that you even said that. So it gets, everybody's like got a weird feeling in their gut, like what the hell is going on, So, I wish them the best, and they've done a lot of good work too, but it definitely is like, unnerving for most people watching the case, but yeah.
And then
I'm gonna pull up some footage.
For them to get the most information out of everybody, I don't know. I just think that they've also kind of sat back and just. I don't think I'm like territorial or anything. I just think you should not let misinformation get like super spread. You should at least be inquisitive or ask a question back or something. Like at one point they were like, Murder Sheet was on a podcast with someone, not going to name names, and they were just talking about all their sources and how they all had great sources. I just hate sources now. I wish they all showed themselves. Show yourself, sources.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. Yeah.
Have you guys? There's just so much rumors that people actually think the craziest stuff, like the girls were washed or something. Like how does that end up verified as a fact on a YouTube channel? That just bugs me so much. That's why I can't do shows that much anymore. I complain like half the show about other people.
Yeah, I get complaining about trolls and stuff, and I'll be on there just cussing it up a storm. But, it's like man, I'm just sitting here rambling, just talking crap to people. It's like, okay, time to get off the stream. You know what I mean? It's like, let it go.
Been there.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's some crazy stuff, man. Yeah, there's plenty of cases in Indiana, man. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
There are plenty of cases. So there is a project that I want to work on, and it's the Delphi documentary, right? So it's recreating this video that we're seeing on the screen here. Just has audio to it, but there's nothing going on right now. But I think this recreation with the probable cause affidavit, reenacted. You know what I mean? According to that, the lady drives over the bridge. She sees the girls see him. You know what I mean? Kind of show it from all perspectives, with a drone, with his point of view, their point of view. Dress like him, get some people out there, to play these roles, and we can actually see it play out in a real person format, exactly how it went down according to what's said in that video. You can show the cars driving by the Hoosier Harbor store, captured on the video. You can actually go over there and see what it would look like with a camera right there from that area to see what the camera would have saw. You know what I mean? And actually kind of basically play out the whole scenario. And just kind of show people what that would look like. And you could take the drone and drop it from like point A, stop, as people are walking, just have everybody stop. It'll freeze frame it, and I can edit it to where like the drone comes up and flies all the way down the trail and stops on someone else. And it shows you where they're at the exact time they're at them. I think that'd be a really cool project. So if there's people out there that are in Indiana that would like to help with this project, and there are already, contact any of us really, and just let us know. But I really want to know, because I think that we could put together a really cool project that would give people a better understanding of this whole thing once they see it. Because then the theories may not go too far from there. You have to base it on the facts, and then there you can't speculate on speculation. You speculate on facts.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait to see the out. I'm pretty sure the way it looks, they're probably going to allow some media into the courtrooms. I just can't wait to see what happens.
Oh man, you already know that who's going to be asking for that. You know what I mean? And we qualify as YouTube creators and stuff, because when you look into that law, it says that what is a media or an individual of the press, and that is a person who makes money off of coverage of, stories, basically. I can't remember the exact wording, but that's basically what it says. If you make money and, this is what you do, there you go. You are a member of the free press. So maybe we could get in there and film that guy.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd like to. It's all gonna
go live in it.
As much of it's gonna come out as possible, I'm sure. I think I just can't get it through my head that Richard Allen would do it alone. But someone made a great point in the chat. They said child killers usually work alone. That makes complete sense unless there's that CSAM ring or something weird going on, or catfishing. I don't really know. I'm keeping it open.
It's something weird.
Yeah, something weird's going on. Something weird, because like if they're lying to me about my own tip being the tip, and like I've seen a lot of weirdness go on. It's like secrecy on top of secrecy on top of secrecy. So it's like, why? Like, what?
Well, they wouldn't want you to know it was your tip, because they know that you have information about the crime, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to tell you, because then you'll know too much. You know what I mean? It's like, we won't tell them that it's absolutely 100% correct.
Yeah. I haven't been 100% correct about anything, but I'm like, definitely the religious thing. Everybody kind of knew that already. Like the Down the Hill podcast already said stuff like that. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then, the multiple people thing. And there's just a lot of weirdness going on that I've never quite seen before. But Yeah, it's very telling that the whole Hitman thing and Jack the Ripper thing, that's off the table, at least for Delphi, and the other two cases, Stevenson's and Carol Daniels. But yeah, I do have to say I did forget some people. Skip, I've been talking to him a lot. I like that guy. He's a good guy. Captain Howdy, he was great. Angie, always great. I knew her from before. Rick Snay was good to talk to a lot more this time around. And yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, everybody, Inquisitors, the whole gang that he has there, I love them. You know who you are. And yeah, Inquisitor is like highly underrated, man. I'm telling you, that guy, he's linked more cases than me. He just he hasn't pulled the trigger on it yet, but
he makes me really he inspires me a lot. You know how many cases he's covered, like over 100 cases on his, and that's just like his second channel. Like he takes on those cold cases that no one cares about. He brings awareness.
Yeah, I love that guy, man. Good dude. Inquisitor, man.
Inquisitor.
Yeah,
he's
shredded in. Yeah, you gotta check out his videos.
Researching-based YouTube.
Some weird's going on. Delphi, really charged. Yeah, DNA weapon. Yeah. What else? Yeah, it's a lot of weirdness.
What else is there? What else was at the crime scene? Look, see, this is basically the thing right here, the trail. You know what, dude? How do we rewind that right there? Back it up just a hair. Okay, I see. I got it. So maybe everybody should hear this part right here. This kind of describes what the trail looks like. I won't go into the rest. It'll just say this is, well, right here. It'll just tell you what the trail looks like, and kind of basically it does exactly what the probable cause does at the beginning. How the probable cause lays out that the Freedom Bridge is approximately, this many miles from this bridge, and then this is this many miles, and the trail is this long, and blah blah blah. So.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want, man, we'll take a listen and see exactly what it says on here. You guys cool with that?
Yeah, hit it up. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play it. So we're gonna have the audio come in now. So
do it to full screen.
I don't know if I mute myself. I don't know if you guys can hear the audio still. Let me know if you can. I'm gonna mute it first.
Okay.
Our community is going through a lot of this with us, and we pray that today is the day.
Let's find this guy.
Can you hear it?
The Monon High Bridge Trail is approximately 2 miles in length. It begins here, at the main parking area, which is located off of County Road 300 and sits next to the Hoosier Heartland Highway, which was completed around October 2013. The trail is an old rail line. The city of Delphi was fortunate to obtain the Freedom Bridge, which was originally built in 1897, dismantled, and then reconstructed in 2002. Originally meant for Connor Prairie, the bridge found its location in Delphi, Indiana. Now it forms the new connecting link for the historic Monon Trail. The development of the Hoosier Heartland Highway had cut the trail. Hence, the 302-foot bridge found its new resting place spanning the highway. Also, it brings a bit of history into the surrounding agricultural historic district. The trail has 4 points of entry. Old Camden Road leads directly from the Delphi city limits. A rural county country road, known as County Road 300, has 3 entry points: A, B, and C. The trail is part of the Mary and Charles Gerard Nature Preserve. Benches dedicated to loved ones overlook Old Deer Creek. In the middle section of the trail, at the Site C entrance, across the road, sits the Mears property, who participate in the German Baptist religion. This property becomes significant later on in this story. Now, back to the center point of the trail system. The paths divide into 2 separate parallel walking lanes. One is called the 501 Trail, indicating it is 501 steps to the High Bridge. The second is the 505. Similar to the other, only that this one leads down to the water and ends just around the bend from the bridge itself. The 501 leads to the historic Monon High Bridge, which stands 70 feet high and 853 feet long, marking it the state's second highest and third longest. The bridge was built in 1891. The condition of the bridge is poor, with deteriorating wood and missing ties. However, the secludedness of the bridge and curiosity of onlookers sparks interest for many to cross it. The trail ends on the southeast side of the bridge, then becomes private property, divided up into 2 owners, one north and one south of the old rail line.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop it right here because this gets into like that lady and stuff, and that's incorrect information, and I don't want anybody to take that away, walk away from here and say that is accurate, okay? Because it's not.
That was really, really
But
good
that
so
is,
far.
thank you.
Awesome.
That's the start of the thing. So it's going to highlight some areas, and then it's, you know, eventually we're going to get to the point where we actually play out the probable cause. But I'll just let it play, but I'll turn the sound off. There you go.
Sweet.
So.
Oh yeah, I said in the chat, but if Sleuth Intuition is watching or ever stops by, I heard he had a recent hospital visit and he wasn't doing too good, was dehydrated.
Oh yeah.
I've had my differences, but I want to tell him good vibes, man. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I
Sorry
reached
for
out
the
to
bad
him
blood.
on I think his comments, but he's getting flooded that day, so I'll try reaching out again to see he wanted to reach out, get in touch, so yeah, I'll get in touch with him once he gets back, you know. But yeah, speedy recovery, man. Man, it's crazy.
Wow.
So what do you guys oh, go ahead.
What?
You go ahead, man.
No, go ahead. What are
I was just
going
to ask another general question. I was going to be like, have you guys gotten any recent cases, or do you guys got recent projects you're working on?
Yeah, I have a couple places I'm gonna go after this. Pretty sick. Can't really talk about it, but it's gonna be a wild ride, man. That's what I said. Yeah, I told Greeno. I said I feel like Kevin Spacey at the end of K-Pax. I'm partying with the crazies before I beam out, dude.
Oh my god. Whenever I feel like Kevin Spacey,
who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? Get in there. It's gonna be crazy.
Man.
You're gonna freak out, man.
Yeah, and I will say, Angie had linked another case. I'm not gonna say the name right now, but it's looking like a Stevenson's type one. In Canada though, because a lot of things I was saying started ringing bells, and then she showed me, and then she sent it in. But there was some other stuff that I can't really talk about, but I got some good stuff in the works. Even in relation to Stevenson's, I gotta send it in because, you know, certain with time, you learn more information and stuff becomes more valuable that you had saved in your notes and stuff like that. So yeah, I gotta turn some stuff in, but everybody has that, you know. I don't know if you're on Android or iOS, but your notes become like their own private, like Google or, you know, Chat GPT, where you're just like, you have a database of stuff that you wouldn't find on Google. You have like stuff saved down, articles, links, names, you know, addresses, stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, and like I always put why I was looking into a person, or what caught my attention, or what date this happened, or stuff like that to make it easier, so I don't show up on a page and wonder like what the hell is this, you know?
I need to do that.
Yeah.
So you just
for sure
go around and look up true crime cases, so you can try to find clue that you can tip in.
Yeah, I do two type of things, right? So I do
just
like
running around the country
puzzle.
tipping people in.
Yeah, it's
gotta
not
be
all the
somebody.
time. I tip in like once. I tip in once every 6 months. So I do the puzzle aspect of it, like Tom Webster, but then I do the vigilante stuff. You know, that's very risky, and I like confront people and people, get them to cough up stuff, because a lot of them are not cooperative and could care less if somebody got murdered, and you have to kind of like twist their arm as much as you can to make them cough up. I've had to do that quite a bit. They're so unremorseful, and like they just think it's a joke, or like they could really care less until you make them care. So I do that whole part. So I do the puzzle part, and then I do the aggression part, and like I've gotten a lot of people to talk, and you know, so a lot of them could have been lying to me, and I know for a fact a couple were, but you know, a lot of them aren't lying because they had anything to do with the murders, or usually did something like bad, you know, that's in felony territory or misdemeanor, but not, you know, shunned upon by society.
Like us, we're just so open with everything, and some people want to keep it hidden because, you know, people don't want to admit they're doing stuff like we do. Maybe they're embarrassed or scared or
Oh,
something. I don't know.
Sultana, I am going to Katie Jeunesse after this and a couple other ones I can't talk about. But yeah, I got some good stuff in the works with Ruckus and Inquisitor. And yeah, that's what I like. Like you guys, everybody, you know, we're known as the criminals, like Spider-Man No Way Home, you know. Yeah. We're all three different Spider-Man. Then
we're the
Ruckus,
criminals of the YouTube, man. We're there.
Yeah, with Ruckus and Inquisitor and me on that end. Everybody thinks we're informants or FBI or some, you know, plants or something. So you got to hit both sides of it, man. You got to go schizo. But it works out pretty good, man. Yeah, that's how I do things. Yeah.
I don't know how else you would. The trolls either force you out or else you have to get them back. I don't know. There's no other way.
Yeah. Yeah, JC's is like that's the thing the psychic mentioned too. All right, here's the thing about the whole psychic. I call it the psychic post. It wasn't a real psychic. That's the point I'm getting to. It was posted on March 2017. Like one of the first articles about the case. Mentioned catfishing, mentioned JC's basically, mentioned a bunch of other stuff. I think that should be passed around and like looked at, and people will probably get a lot of booze out of it.
Man, I could probably get information at JC's because my uncle owned that bar. He started that bar.
Well, you got to get it then.
Herb Johnson. So, I mean, I know Herb Johnson is his name. So that is my grandma's brother. And
is he alive?
Like, so I think I could find out some information. Because
you got to show it. Show them that.
They got to know something. You know, I don't really know everything that happened there. All I know is that after he was arrested, somebody had sent me a message and said they're serving a search warrant at JC's, and I'm like, why? After he got arrested? You know, what's the point of that? You know, why there? And what happened?
Yeah.
So, you know, she wants someone to, you know, interview a bar owner. So, has anybody been there and interviewed anybody yet? I guess that's a question I need to know first, because I could go there and interview these people.
Yeah, anything JC's is valuable. Anything that liquor store is kind of whatever, and I'm sure other people have other stuff underneath that. It's probably more valuable in the liquor store, but JC's for sure, man.
Did JC's move? Does anybody know if anybody's around Delphi? Because it's not where it used to be.
You know, but or something.
Well, yeah,
you have to.
Yeah, but it was like a Mexican restaurant, so there's no way it converted to that place as fast as what it did. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess it could have, but
yeah, whatever you get on the people that were there, that are willing to talk, for sure. I have no clue, man. I think it has moved, or you know, if it's still open. I haven't really checked, but you know, you would know somebody that used to be there. So yeah, whatever you get on that for that time frame. Yeah.
I can answer this one for you, Alex. You have your own channel. You just haven't you haven't put anything out yet.
Just modding. It looks so. My channel looks like a freaking like teenager's channel or something. It's all like mods and machinima video. Like I was just random stuff. Yeah,
us nerds got it. We have hobbies, dude. We have hobbies.
Yeah, I'm gonna be mostly gaming and then true crime stuff. I'll do sparingly, but I'm gonna move away from Delphi and help people ask me to help with some Indiana cases because there's plenty of them. So I'm gonna like keep the roots in Indiana and then ping pong back from like different, you know, because if I already networked with a bunch of people around Delphi, there's a lot of people that know about a lot of these Indiana cases. There's plenty of them, so it's like, why put that to waste? And then you know, if there's something to be done, I'll try to help out with that. And I'm gonna ping pong the like stuff that's farther out.
So you know, what draws you to Indiana of all places?
Delphi is that video, man.
Yeah, but besides Delphi,
yeah, the whole
why
Delphi
stay here?
thing and
why not move on to Florida, man? Florida,
because Florida,
corruption.
Oh, Florida, yeah, that's one of the ones
jail,
I've looked into. Yeah, nah, I don't care, man. California cops are more lethal when they're dirty than Indiana cops.
I'll go with you. Don't worry.
I dealt with those, so I'm not really worried. Yeah, I'm worried about that. And then my Riverside court system's backed up, so big time. They got news articles on it, so I'm good. You know, if they want to charge me federal or for something, then it's good, but I'll be good. I don't do anything that federal, you know, to like everything I do, it's not for selfish gain. It's like it's all cold case related, you know. So yeah.
In
so I'll
chat,
be
they're
good.
talking. A request is suggesting to look into a case of Sierra Breland.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one before. Yeah,
Carmen,
West
do you-
Willis, shout out to you.
What's the name?
Yeah,
Where's the name at?
Sierra Breland. Yeah, I'll look into that one. Yeah, I remember that one.
Interesting.
Nothing but corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is nothing. Hey, that's the slogan here, man. There's more than corn in Indiana at Indiana Beach. We have a theme park near here. It's not a big one, but it's the theme park. They got roller coasters and stuff. So see if you guys come here in the summertime, we could go to Indiana Beach or something. You know, it doesn't all have to be.
And also, Natasha, you're okay. You're not blocked. You're all good, Natasha. You don't have to get all. Don't
We
worry.
see you.
Don't worry about it.
Natasha?
Don't be
Natasha's-
hating. We're good.
I've seen
We're all
Natasha
good.
for a while. She's definitely one of my fans. She hits up
Man.
the other Facebook, like the Facebook pages and stuff like that. Natasha, you're cool. We see you. Trust me. Maybe we didn't respond to you, but we see you.
It's
okay.
weird when me and Greeno stream on both channels sometimes because the chats are divided into two. So sometimes
Crossing the streams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crossing
the chats are divided
streams.
into two. So yeah,
Yeah.
Playing
Crossing-
lightsabers
Stupid.
over here.
Stupid.
Yeah.
There you go. They're gonna stream about that and have that all over the world for the rest of the time. Did you hear what they just said? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trolls.
Man.
It's
Trying to
been
think
good.
if you guys have any questions in the chat, or you guys any topics you want to bring up. I'm trying to think.
Topics
Yes,
to bring
Yvonne,
up.
you're here.
Yeah.
We're doing a block check.
Yeah,
Really
let's
quick. You're here.
Yeah, I want to. So I just want to touch briefly on what we're going to be doing in our next show, Graz. Alex is not going to be a part of it. So it'll be me, you, and two other.
Oh yeah. No, that one.
We're
Yeah,
getting down.
yeah.
Getting
What
down.
we're going to do
man.
tomorrow. I mean, but it's not going to air till next week. Yeah. So, so we're going to review a video that was posted, and it's a court hearing, and we're going to review that, and we're going to have a group of people, men and women, to discuss that and what they think about that, and ask me questions. I'm going to answer them, and I'll ask questions, and there it is, and that'll just be that. And that'll be the reaction and questions and whatever else comes with it. So, that'll be my reaction and my response, and only response to that.
Whatever you do, man, be graceful, be happy, smile on your face.
Always.
You know, it's my only advice.
Smile on my face. I did listen to it already, so I was there. I was part of it, so I already have it processed in my head on what's going on. So we're
You ever
good.
been to Naples, Florida?
Yeah,
I haven't.
There.
Yeah, I lived
was actually
there.
right by
I lived
there.
there. Yeah, I lived there for a month.
Yeah, I was actually right by there.
2020.
Literally,
Yeah.
that's where I was when I was in.
Just for Greeno, can you see fish from the high? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you can actually see fish.
Yeah, I like
from
what
the
I like
high
about
bridge.
Florida.
So
Reminds me.
what?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, about
No,
the fish.
Nothing.
Yeah, you said you could see them.
I see that. I was gonna say, yeah, you can
Yeah.
see the fish from the high bridge. Actually, the water's not that deep and it's crystal clear. It's actually a really cool place out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I liked Naples reminded me of San Diego in the 90s. That's why I liked it a lot. Yeah, it was like San Diego without the traffic. Yeah, it's
Alex is
humidity
like
is
that
it's
skateboarder beach team from the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the lingo. Yeah, I like all that, like Vans and all that type. All the underground cultures. I'm a little too old for a lot of it. That's kind of what drew me to like the whole gaming cyber criminal stuff, because it's like you got graffiti, surfing, skateboarding, all these things that kind of took off. And then I felt like that was kind of taken off more and more. I still feel like it hasn't hit its peak, but I definitely was a part of some of it. But oh yeah, that reminds me of the guy that wrote that Xbox Underground article. He hit me up yesterday. Like, he replied to an email I sent months ago, and he he's like, oh man, so I'm glad I found this one. He's like, yeah, I saw your interview, yeah. And he knew me. That meant a lot to me. It's like, it was like a butterfly effect. It's like words he put on a page, resulted in like cold case stuff and other crazy stuff, in different industries. And yeah, it's crazy how that worked, But that goes for everybody. You guys all know, you think back to something when you made like a small choice and it ends up in some craziness, whether it's good or bad. Yeah, it's crazy. That movie, The Butterfly Effect, it's actually aged pretty well. I definitely, people should definitely go check that out for sure. That's a good one with Ashton Kutcher.
Favorite dude.
Yeah.
What's up, as above, so below?
Yeah, part of a comment that I seen in the chat was how I think early on in YouTubing or doing sleuthing, it's easier to make mistakes or to think, to discern a good source from a bad source. And Greeno didn't lie about Daniel Pearson's call. Somebody faked as if they were him, and they called him, set him up like that. I mean,
so
they just come out and call you liar all the time. I mean, that's more for tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
Guess, but.
So, yeah. Well, no, tomorrow's more for that. Just that one thing. I don't really care who calls me a liar.
Yeah.
The thing is you weren't there and you didn't see and hear and do all the things that happened. Like, there is so before this Daniel Pearson stuff came out here, like in the last couple of years or whatever, with this guy, he's supposed to be a witness or whatever he is. There was a phone call that was made to me in 2018. I believe it was early March. I was working in Burlington at the bar there, and I got these text messages from a guy named Daniel Pearson. That is his name, and he does live in Delphi, and he lived right next to the trail, actually, at the very, so it's kind of, if you're leaving from Delphi and you go up Old Camden Road, up by Samuel Milroy, it works right up there by that monument. You would cross that red bridge, and then you'd go over to the Freedom Bridge. Well, he lived right there. Well, this guy just randomly texted me and was like, hey, I'm ready to turn myself in. And it's like, oh, for what? Like, do you know who you're texting?
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
part of
Like, well, turn yourself in. And he's like, oh, well,
yeah.
like, I got warrants. And I'm like, okay, for what? And he's like, for the Delphi case. And I'm like, what? And he just tells me all this stuff that he...
Yeah, I can't see the chat right now, but I'll catch on the replay. Yeah, if as above entered the chat, I gotta read that later, man. It's gonna be a banger, dude.
He's actually
all right. So listen,
he's a very special.
Anyway,
guy.
So this dude,
we keep him close.
So we end up calling law enforcement.
Yes, we think it sometimes.
Yeah. Well, he's a little special. So
oddball.
We end up calling law enforcement and developed a tip, and they called us back. And Tobe called me back the next day when we were supposed to go meet this guy because he wanted to turn himself in. I called the cops and said, hey, can you guys show up and like be there in case this guy is the killer, right? So I'm calling the cops live on a video, and they're like, how about you just call the FBI tip line, man? And it's like, okay, listen, dude, I'm telling you that some dude just called me and said he killed his girlfriend, he burned her up, and that he's responsible for the Delphi murders and he wants to turn himself in. And they're telling me, oh, just call tomorrow, man. It'll be all right. Just give us a call tomorrow around noon. I'm like, dude, do you not hear what I'm telling you? Like, the dude is saying he did this crime. That means, like, get the hell up and go check this dude out now because he wants to meet me downtown Delphi tomorrow. And they're like, well, how do we know he doesn't just want to kill you? And I'm like, well, I don't know that. That's why I want you there. So they show up or whatever. Toad calls the next day before we go meet this guy. And he's like, okay, listen, the FBI and the state police.
That sounds like the homeless thing I went through, man. A lot of those LARPs.
Psychological issues, and they took him to the hospital for a while. So, and then this other Daniel Pearson guy comes up later down the road, and I don't even think that guy is real because I've never seen that guy, and we got people pretending to be that guy, creating Facebook pages of that guy and writing people from it as if it's him and saying things like he was incriminating himself and stuff. So I've never personally seen a Daniel Pearson other than that one at all. I thought that maybe this Daniel Pearson theory, someone derived off of that old video and is just running around spreading a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen
I would say
that whole thing it got way too deep with that. People running around. It took me 2 months. It took me a while, but after I learned about the timeline and everything, it was clear to me that Daniel Pearson guy is just a regular dude. But
It's just nobody. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
it's weird, man, because that's another person like the dog walking lady that just these people implement themselves into something that's not even right. You know what I mean? Like
Hey,
the
having
theory does what they
I will
say.
say I
It
don't
doesn't even
think
go with
he's
it.
special. He's got some smart. He's got some smart takes, even if it's schizo, like that type of schizo thinking, the ping ponging and like alternate takes, and you know, it's like third person, second person, switching gears, like that's
Oh my
sometimes.
goodness.
So yeah, shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
Graz, you're like,
No,
I can't
man,
believe
no.
it.
Can't. What is
Yeah.
happening right now? No, I'm just kidding.
What? What?
I'm
What
cool.
can you believe? Like some crazy
Oh
stuff
no,
going on
we're
in the comments?
shouting out the so special. That's why shouting them out.
Who?
They're good.
No,
Like
I
as
like
above.
Who are you guys talking about?
As
Oh,
above,
As Above,
so
So Below.
below.
That dude is a great big fan of mine. You know what? He changed his name to True Crime Investigates. As Above, So Below. Dude, I really
likes you.
appreciate.
Maybe he does like you.
You know, the fan.
You
You being
know
a fan like that and just like representing True Crime Investigates to the fullest. You
I'm gonna
rock,
think of it
dude.
like
You know
that
what,
from
man?
now
If
on.
you and I could hang out, I would love that.
Love speech, man. Yeah, you gotta try it.
I've been gone for a while,
Yeah, I
dude.
gotta
This whole
try it more
troll
too, man, to be
situation
honest.
is. I feel like a sense of security being here with Alex, because I'm like, if anyone attacks me, Alex is gonna find him at least for this hour. Like I'm safe right
Yeah,
now.
we're gonna hack him.
Yeah, I gotta go
We're gonna
back.
hack
I gotta
'em.
go back and check. But
Just
you know, a lot I've shown, like Ruckus told me, he's like, you gotta show restraint, and like you know, a lot of the trolls' points are valid, and a lot of them make friends with, or you know, at least get on
No, they're
decent terms
not.
with. You
They're
know,
not valid.
some of them are.
I don't think
man,
they're
some of
valid.
them.
These trolls.
The flip side.
I mean, not what. I mean, what do you think? Why would they be trolling if it was valid? You know what I mean? They wouldn't need to.
I think if
You
they
know
have
what I mean?
empathy,
They just run around
it's
trying to
okay.
force their
If
point. You know what I mean?
no,
It's like if I run around and force your point on somebody, like, and it's wrong. You know,
Yeah,
or just saying stupid stuff.
but
Like,
there's like,
these guys are involved in the murder. Like the
yeah, there's a
LaFons. Like,
kernel of
imagine
truth
someone coming to you and
sometimes.
being like, "Dude, it's LaFons, dude."
Yeah, I
You know?
would say no speech for everybody, man. I love you guys. You guys know who you are. I love you guys. But yeah, that's about
yeah,
it.
it's
you
cool
know?
if you like. I mean, I have no problem. I have no problem anymore, man.
Yeah.
Like, I tell you, the people you think are trolls, like, I was totally blindsided, man. Some of those trolls look like regular people, man. I just have to cut my losses sometimes with the people I think I don't like.
Yeah. There's
But
some,
like,
there's
as above,
some-
so below. I mean, you got to understand the reasons why we don't like him. Like, he's called me
Oh,
a
yeah, I
pedophile. He's
understand,
called
yeah.
Greeno, shit like that. He's
Yeah,
up here.
look,
We're
he's already-
allowing him in the chat. He's
he
being a
thinks-
little
Yeah, he does have that
special
history.
guy.
He thinks that I was there that day filming the murder happen, okay, and that Cheyenne took a photograph, and me and like these 10 other members of the film crew are seen in the photograph filming the crime
Oh,
happen.
man.
And it's like, okay, well then how come Cheyenne didn't say anything about that going on in the picture? You know, she didn't happen to mention any of that to anybody, right? Because she didn't see that and all these people were under there. It's called pareidolia, dude. Like, you ever looked at the clouds and saw like a dog or an angel or some weird thing,
man.
or looked at the ground, seen a shape, and it's like, that looks like a face right there. That's what your body's trained to do, is you find things like that.
And that's a small part of what goes on. Like, you're waving around weapons, threatening people on stream. I think I did that to half a Grey Hughes' subscribers a couple weeks ago, but it all depends, you know, if you're drunk.
You got on there and held a weapon on
stream,
stream?
so
Yeah.
you know, who knows what he's doing out there, you know.
Oh, God bless him, man. You know, I'm a fan. I already
bless
told him,
all of
but
us.
I'm fan. Yeah.
You can be a
Fan
fan.
you guys
it's
too.
okay.
You know.
fine.
Yeah. Talking about, man. But yeah, we're
You
here
know,
to
I
bring the
like
vibes
people
up, man.
who
It's like I
people
said.
don't like. I like
Yeah.
Murder Sheet. I go to them, but I talk shit about them just as much. I don't know why. Same with Grey Hughes. Some days I look up and I admire Grey, and some days I just want to like do stuff I can't speak about right now. You know,
Yeah, we've all
it
been there.
happens.
Don't say that, man. He'll get a no contact order on you.
Yeah.
I can use one of those. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Let's
I
not
would love to have no
entice
contact order
anyone.
with Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So
Yeah,
okay,
man.
so Lilith is saying that you said that you were. So let me. She said that you said that you were on the search. Have you said that a long
To
time
me?
ago and then you
No,
cleared
I've
it
never
up a
said I was
million
on the
times?
search.
Yeah, Lilith
everybody,
is just
listen.
spamming
Go.
it. People are like
Yeah,
excited
Lilith.
about
Okay,
it.
you're wrong. So
Very
why did law
crazy,
enforcement want
man.
your DNA? Okay, listen, because you were in the search team. No, for the people that are watching on television.
That's what I
No, law enforcement
told
asks
you.
everybody for their DNA when they come and question them. Every single person. And also,
Oh man, this stream's a banger, dude.
I wasn't part of the search. I didn't even know what was happening. I didn't even know what was happening until after it happened.
It's a banger.
Okay,
Damn.
like so. I was never a part of the search team. I've never said I was a part of the search team, and I saw where you, sir, as above so below, had posted a video from one of my videos, and it said, if I was a part of the search team, I think I would have found the girls that night. That's what I said in that video. And that means if, like, let's pretend if I was a part of the search team, I think I could have found them that night based on the terrain and where they were at and my ability to navigate through areas like that. That doesn't mean I was
fans.
there.
Big fans.
Yeah.
I dig it. It's all right.
Yeah, you got the party started, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're friends with Tony Klein, though, I mean, dude, he's not. I would not be friends with that guy. I'd be like, hey, Tony.
Why? What's that guy done? You know. I mean,
I
is he
wouldn't
just
be friends with
implicated into
him,
this by
but,
speaking, or is-
yeah, I wouldn't knock anybody that's like friends with him. You know, at this point, you know, especially post Allen arrest and all that stuff. But
he's never
yeah.
served time for anything, but he's done some horrible stuff. I feel like he should.
How do we
serve
know that
some
he's done
time
the
or
horrible stuff, though?
Be made fun of. Witness statements, tons of witness statements. Like his whole family told on him. It wasn't until it took Keegan like 3 years to turn on him. So maybe, you know, Keegan turned on him the wrong way, or he didn't have his facts right. But dude, Tony,
he looks like he's doing a lot
pay
better
for what
in
they
his
did
life.
if they did it.
Yeah, he made the right changes. You know, at some point, like I said, if somebody's like paid their dues, which I think he has in a lot of ways, like at some point it becomes sadistic to keep like pressing on the jugular. You know, you gotta free up sometimes. You know, but
yeah, Lilith, you guys be nice to Greeno then. Stop pressing on his jugular, okay? I'll stop with Tony too. I'll stop with I stop with Gray Hughes.
Yeah,
I'll stop with some people. I'm being nice to this as above guy. He's in here just having a good old time.
It works, man. I'm telling you, it works.
Look.
It works, dude. Yeah.
Exactly. William Travis said it right on the money. Had I been there and found those girls that night, guess who would have been the number one suspect? Me. Because I clearly look like the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, someone was asking the height. He's a short, big. He looks just like
the
Bridge
height's.
Guy.
He does look like the bridge guy. I mean, he looked identical to the bridge.
I mean, damn.
That guy is the bridge guy. You know?
Oh, man.
I'm going to go see if I can take a picture of him.
This is what I mean about the
man,
sketches, though. Like, they had several. Like, I don't think one witness made that one sketch that I just can't see it. I don't know.
You know, not sound too crazy, but did you see that sketch that looked like Uncle Tito from Rocket Power, and it had like the little goatee, and then it looked like the Chelsea Smalls bank store robber. I was like tripping out when I saw that. He had like
scary dude.
Yeah.
Chris Chan had a big troll named Tito's Surf Shack or something like that.
Hell no, man. Yeah, I gotta look into that one, man.
Who?
Chris Chan, this controversial guy. He just had this guy named Tito, and he was like in character when he wrote him emails. He was like, "Hey, what's up, little cuz?" Like all weird and shit. It was funny though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, you know, like the whole Chris Chan ordeal, and then like other stuff, like the swatting incident, and then the McSkillet guy killing that family in San Diego because. Yeah, with gaming, it's all gaming related. He killed a family because his Steam account got banned. And what was the other one? Yeah, they still do it. It's not as dangerous as it used to be, you know, but it's still dangerous. It's not good. And
Yeah, that is dangerous. People are dangerous.
they get taken down. Yeah, they get taken down pretty fast. Thank God. But a lot of them, like the whole game, like people dying off video games, and like the Madden thing, it is like trippy to see because we didn't see that when we were kids at all. Like, even the PlayStation, I didn't see people dying from video games. I'm sure there's like stories of people getting in a fight in the living room or something over a game, but yeah, not people from a whole other state or country, like, having you killed or somebody doing a full-on like mass murder because of a video game. Yeah, it's trippy. Yeah, it makes you want to roll it back sometimes. Then you get into other stories like people getting baited with like, "You missed my voice, you Sigrid."
Oh, I told him yes. I miss his voice. I'm Cyrex Graz, so I miss him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good seeing him, man.
All the time.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
God.
Yeah, I like that guy, man.
He,
that was a good surprise.
He should have a radio show about like true crime. I could listen to him. I could listen to so many people if they weren't if they were talking about just what they're doing. Like as above, so below. He was threatening. He was like yelling at me or somebody, maybe the captain or something. And I swear he was just looking around his room and saying what was around. Like at one point he was like, "You're useless. You're just like a thumb that fell off. You're useless." I swear he was just looking around and maybe he cut off his own thumb and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to say that." And then he just like said it.
Dude,
yeah, he has some banger one-liners.
Dude,
I'm going to give As Above, So Below. He said he'll call in. I'm going to drop the link for him. Only for As Above,
hell
So
yeah.
Below.
Okay, hell yeah. Call him in. Hell yeah.
All right, this is like an arch nemesis here. This dude is like coming after me, probably. So it's cool.
Dude.
I love it.
Don't worry, we have the mute
button. If you don't want to.
We don't have to.
Yeah, if you want to mute up for that one, you can. Yeah, if you want to mute up for that one. Why not, dude?
I mean, he has.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I don't care.
All right. He's not gonna. He's never did that though. He's not gonna come. But I just
call in, man. You can talk to me.
Funny to do it
live. So check this out, man. When I started, getting back into things, I saw this all of a sudden. I got a call from someone. They're like, "Dude, look at this video that's live right now. Never heard of it before in my life." Go to it. It's this dude talking about me, and he's like, I go through and look through these videos, and there's like videos of like questions like to me, like directed to me, and then in the videos he's like answering questions, like listening to me answer the questions, but I'm not even in the video. I'm not even in. I had never been there before. I'd never met him. I'd never been in a chat or anything like that. When I showed up in that chat, man, he was like.
It's pretty lit.
There he is, everybody. Like, there he is. God, I got him, dude. He's there. I got him.
Yeah. Little Joe is still around, but he's just chilling, He actually owned the name Little Joe. His thumbnails now say True Crime with Little Joe Luis. He like owned it. He's still being Joe. I don't watch him anymore. I only watch him when they start to get a bunch of views, and then I make videos about him.
You know what, dude? So he reminds me of a character in this video that I'm making right now. Okay, and so Joe actually came across one of his videos. We'll be using some snippets of his videos because I will say that of everybody that's made a video about me, I think Joe's is the best put together.
God damn it.
I think that he actually...
Yeah, Voorhies talked about As Above, So Below. You're over here talking about Joe.
I conjured him. It's like Beetlejuice. I love it, dude. Hell yeah. Woo!
You guys need to call a welfare check on me because I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. Just kidding. Not literally. Don't do that. Please.
Hell yeah. Damn.
Is that Steve? Is it okay with you guys if Frankmeister comes on?
Is that who it is?
I think so. I hope so, because if it's not, then it might be a
Can we see your face,
porn
man?
Guy.
Can you put your face up to the thing so we can tell who we are? Who we're looking
at? Can you
at?
show me your balls?
Some crazy.
Yeah. Okay, it's him. Just kidding. I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. You got to authenticate yourself and show us your face before you get pulled onto the stream.
On the backstage.
Have all that weird stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah, try it. Man. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I knew this was gonna be a banger stream, dude. Hell yeah.
Here, I'll just do this. I'll put on an overlay. Hey, Frank, is that you?
It's
Frank?
Rafi.
It's Rafi. Then why? Okay, your name. Hi, Rafi.
Yeah, Rafi. Right.
Let's
It's
welcome
called
him
a troll.
nicely.
It's called a troll.
Good job, troll man. How are you doing, Raf?
Hey, it's nice to speak to you, man.
I'm good. How's your wife?
She's good. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking,
Hell
Rafi.
yeah.
Hope
You
your
got you,
family's
you
doing
all
good,
stocked up
Rafi.
on you all stocked up on Band-Aids?
Because you're gonna give me an ass whooping, right?
Yeah.
Oh
No,
man,
that's
I
I was
got
only
Band-Aids.
asking in case you're gonna give your wife an ass whooping.
Oh, that's not nice.
Why
Okay,
not?
At this
You-
point,
how many times you beat her
you keep
before?
talking like that, you are
Hell
going
yeah.
to be like the new me, man.
yeah, at
What
this
are you gonna
point, I'm
do?
gonna say,
What are you
don't
gonna
let
do,
him.
Yes,
Greeno?
I can't believe it.
What are you gonna do? Greeno's gonna get out his film camera and watch me get fucking tortured. What are you gonna do, bitch?
I'm going to be like, "Oh, you're
You ain't
lying.
nothing.
Watch
You're a
I
little
don't-
punk, Greeno. I caught you in all your lies. You don't want to hold accountability. You walk around every little thing that you can.
We don't want you to get tortured, Raf. You just relax for a second, please.
Listen.
Can you relax?
I
for
know.
1
I
minute?
know. Greeno would definitely have the equipment to fucking pull it off, wouldn't he?
We all anybody
Pull it
could,
off.
especially with you, right? Can you
it
just
off.
In
relax a minute?
2017, in that little city of Delphi, who had the equipment to pull off the murders to film this shit underneath the bridge? Who had access to that type of? Excuse me?
Hold on. Who had access to that type of what?
Who was involved in that industry and had access to that type of equipment that was seen under the bridge? I know what's in the photos.
The film equipment, I think.
Really?
is
Because
what
I
he's
didn't
talking
get
about,
any of that. I didn't get any equipment. I never had a camera in 2017.
That's because you've been That's because you've been pushing pareidolia on your little sheep all along. Because you were confronted about this a long time ago, buddy.
By who?
And then you said I went under the fucking bridge. I was there. It's all pareidolia. If they were down there on the cliff, but you didn't talk about the picture where you scrambled it with Cheryl and Cheyenne on it and presented it on your old channel. And then I went and fucking unscrambled it, and I found out what you motherfuckers were hiding.
Calm down.
Why don't you fucking answer that? What did you do to Abby and Libby, bastard?
All right.
Can you calm
so
down?
you're not going to talk to me that
Little
way
bit.
for one.
This is way
Second,
better
I'll kick
than the
your
stream
fucking ass because
that
I don't
was
give
planned
a fuck.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
3,
That was
check
good.
my packet, motherfucker, because I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. Okay. So you could step up to me in Delphi, and I will show you exactly what's going on. And I think that I will be the one walking away from that, and you will have your ass whooped Southern style. So you ain't gonna talk to me that way, so have a good
I'll hit you later. Oh
wait.
man.
You take
Now that was good. Hell yeah, dude, he's back.
Let's go. Come on down to Toronto. I'll shoot you $200 to get here. I'll shoot you $200 to get here, you little fucking scammer. I'm telling you now, Anthony, you're stepping on the wrong fucking toes, bro.
Hey, listen,
You're
dude, hold
stepping on the wrong toes.
Greeno, why are you stepping on
Hey,
his
listen.
toes so much?
I don't know, man. I was just gonna ask you. Do you have like $20 I maybe can get or something like that? Like, I mean,
Hey,
like,
shout out
I'm
to
kind of like
Pitbull.
low
Shout
on
out
money.
to
And
Pitbull. Shout out to Pitbull. I love that Pitbull guy. Oh man.
Rafi,
Yeah.
can I ask you a question?
yeah, we're gonna ask Rafi a question before he gets brought in, so he doesn't talk over you.
Oh yeah, he's mute. Okay, Rafi.
Yeah, I muted him. Chill.
Without yelling, can you tell me why do you yell so much? Can I ask you why are you so angry all the time? Okay, we're
Just
gonna
say
unmute
that
you.
I know something that a few of you don't know yet, and I'm
'Cause your
not going to be
sources?
No, I'm not going to say anything more than what I just said.
Well, we didn't hear you. You were
Hey,
muted.
where are you watching from?
Well, then you missed
You're
out,
from
didn't you?
Toronto.
I did.
Are you from Canada?
I'm from Toronto.
From Toronto.
Dude.
Okay. Would you like to meet me sometime? I think that we could probably
If
meet
you
I
ever
think
come,
that-
if you ever want to come down to Toronto, I would love to meet you before the next year. You know, I'd say give it a year before, you really have some heat and pressure put on you.
Oh,
So if you have that opportunity in the next year to make it to Toronto, I'll give you $200 cash when you get here, my friend. Right out of my pocket,
Okay.
no
What are
problem.
we gonna
You
do
want
when we get there?
$200? I don't know what you're going to be using it on, but you're not going to be able to use it spending on too many things. I can warn you that fucking much.
Why? How long until you kill me?
I don't want to kill you. I'm going to turn you in.
Oh, I'll turn myself in. I mean, I'm really close to the Carroll County Sheriff's Department. I mean, they're like right down the road. I got Tobe on speed dial. I mean, I can call him right now,
But
dude.
there's a couple of little things that need to be tagged in with you.
Can I please ask? Can we calm down? Rafi, can you please? Why are you so mad all the time? I didn't hear. Like, why are you so angry?
The truth is, bro, I'm so emotional because of the fact that the way this shit is getting mocked. Abby and Libby didn't deserve this shit to be drawn out like this for 5 years. If people would have worked together from the very fucking beginning, 5 years ago, they would have realized what Occam's razor was. Like you talking about Occam's razor. Didn't you say it was Tony Klein and Keegan Klein was Occam's razor? What did I say? No. Yes, you did. Yes, you fucking did. I said Occam's razor is the people at the bridge. Well, wasn't Rick Allen at the bridge and then arrested 3 months after I said that? So who was wrong here and who was right on Occam's razor?
Well,
because you had Tony Klein and Keegan. Tony Klein and Keegan.
When you don't let, I had to mute you. When you don't let people talk, you lose. If you talk with people, you might, you have to let people talk.
Man. You gotta let people talk back.
Okay, I unmuted
you.
So,
okay, we get
if you listen to his other streams, where he's
do you understand that, Rafi?
He's actually a fucking funny guy. You gotta listen to his other stuff, but
I don't know if I should even speak anymore.
Hey man, let me ask you a question, dude. Don't you think that they would know by now? Like, I just got out of jail. I've been to jail like 3 or 4 times since the case started. You think they would know it was me, right? They got my DNA. They've had my fingerprints. They know where I was that day. They've tracked my phone.
I don't think you're the killer. I don't think you're the killer.
And you think I'm somehow...
I don't think you're the killer. I don't think you're the killer.
Well, that's good. We're getting somewhere. That's good.
Okay. So we're under...
All right.
No, I think you're affiliated to the murder. I think you played a role in this crime.
The role I play in this whole crime is covering it on social media. That's the role.
You didn't do a very good job considering how much I've been catching you lie. You literally said you were in Delphi that day.
I did go to Delphi that day. I've said that a million times. I stopped by the police department here and then went to Delphi. And Delphi, I was there.
And you were there to film and cover this, and you were there to film this and cover this and document this. How did you know that it was going to be this fucking kind of fucking...
It would have been after the crime was committed. It was more like 4 or 5 maybe when I was there. I think maybe
right around the first presser, if I'm not mistaken. You said right.
Right around what?
You said, if I recall, you said it was right around the time the first presser happened.
No. What do you mean with the first presser? No, it was the.
Well, listen. Here's the thing, Anthony.
I went to Delphi on the 13th.
Anthony,
I went to Delphi.
Here's
on the 13th.
the thing.
They were murdered. I was there after they were murdered, but not.
Yes, okay, but you said that. Okay, in another interview, you said you were a part of the search team that day, and if
I didn't say I was part of the search team. Can you? Is that video still on your channel?
Can I speak?
Is that video on your channel? I'm going to look that video.
It was on your. It was on your true crime. It was on your True Crime Investigates channel. I probably do have it, but I have over 200 video files of you. So it would take me quite a while to go through it because some of them are repetitive. So it would take me a week or two to go through it all. This is what you said, okay? Somebody asked you if Abby or Libby had stayed alive till possibly later than the other one. And if one of the two had attempted to crawl away, you or Michael would have found them, because if either one of the two girls were still alive and attempted to crawl away, you would have found them. Not if you were a part of the search, if either one of the two girls had tried to crawl away. There's many things. Why did you lie about Cheryl and Cheyenne being underage and you didn't want people to talk about them? And they're the people that took that photograph of what I descrambled and found underneath the bridge. There's a direct link right there.
I've never said Cheryl and Cheyenne were underage. They're
really
close to my age. One of them is.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You never said
They're
to
not-
the community, the Delphi community, not to speak about Cheryl and Cheyenne because they could have fallen victim to Bridge Guy just as much as Abby and Libby did. So to show them
No, I
that
said-
respect.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
You
think
are
that
such a liar. Dude, I caught you. I'm calling you out on everything right now. There's videos. I have a lot of the other videos.
Like I said, and that's just plain and simple. Okay, I didn't ever say that. I wasn't involved in crime. I wouldn't say I was involved in something that I wasn't involved in.
That's good
Period.
content.
These are things that you said. I have videos of you saying this shit, stupid.
Then go get the fucking video, bitch.
Were you lying then?
Look, go get the video and show me, and that's it.
I
You win
posted
the
this.
match, man.
Right? Oh my god, dude, you just lied right there.
Dude, shut the fuck up, motherfucker, and listen to me for a second. All right, when I'm talking,
you ever hear
shut the
about
fuck up,
a
or I'll
bar
back hand
fight?
the fuck out of you. Here's
Bar
what we're gonna
fight.
talk about. Just
A
shut
bar
up.
fight that happened
Okay?
after the sketch.
Shut up.
Bar fight.
You ain't gonna talk
after the sketch at
so
at JC's or the other one.
Greeno's a pothead.
Well, I'll hear from him later.
Video evidence. Okay.
Yeah.
Now here's the deal. No, it wasn't Rafty that got my channel taken down. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Anyway, so check it out, dude. How come nobody that's got something to say like that can produce any evidence? You can say I got this and I got that, but I can't get it right now. Never does anybody ever produce any evidence right then. Okay. You know what I did before? I went on the Google timeline. It's a search, okay, that searches everywhere that your phone has been while we were live on a live stream and pulled up that timeline because someone said you can do this and find where you've been. So I went ahead and got on it right there live. Screen shared it. Guess where it said I was at the time that the crime was happening? It was like 2:23 or 2:24, something like that. I was at the police department in Lafayette, Indiana. Says Google the timeline thing. And that could be verified by the people that were there that I talked to. Okay? So if you can't
I'll
produce
catch
the
you later,
video
Raffy. That was
saying
crazy, man.
contradicting what I'm
That's
saying,
good.
then don't say anything because extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. That's a quote from Carl Sagan. If you're going to make a big claim, you have to be able to back it up. Not the person that you're making the claim against has to back up whatever you're saying or rebuttal against that. You have to back that up. If I say Alex did this, this, and this, I have to prove that he did that. And if I can't do that, then my story is full of shit.
It's called receipts,
You know what I mean?
dog.
I got a couple of those, but
It's called receipts, yeah. And you know what some people consider receipts?
I will
They're
say,
like, "Oh, receipts, man. What's your receipt? Well, he told me, and he wouldn't lie to me. And it's like, well, maybe he didn't lie to you, but someone lied to him.
Yeah.
You know?
I was doing a limited run in Delphi before I took off, you know, where I was going to take off, but that was one of my goals because, you know, I'd seen them around for a while and I wanted to get alive with them, you know, so I got alive with them, dude, you know, so, you know, thank you for that, as above, man. That was sick, dude. That was sick. You guys got to admit, that was something special. That was something special, man.
I thought we were really getting somewhere for a minute. He was like, I don't
We
think you're
did.
the killer. And then I went to the bathroom and he's gone. And then I think we're on square two. I don't think we're back to square one. I think that was good. I think we're fine.
No, shout out to Pitbull for probably putting that together, helping, you know, so that was sick, dude. Oh my God. That was entertainment, man. Oh my God, dude. God damn.
Yeah, that couldn't have, now let's get Joe up here.
Man.
Then we'll be good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
How does someone
Joe.
do that though?
Oh man.
You're the killer. No, I'm not. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Do you have proof? He told me this.
Well, yeah, hands down the best stream in Delphi all night, man. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, there's Frank. Frank is here to hang out with us for a minute. See what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Hey Frank, is that you? Is that you, Frank? Give it a couple seconds just in case
I
your
gotta
mic's
chat. Hold
not
on.
working or something.
BRB, 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can
I can hear you.
Okay, I dropped him the link, so he should be here.
Hell yeah.
Frank Meister, is that you?
Frank, you getting your microphone set up?
Maybe backstage. Hey, Greeno, that was like I got a lot of messages right now. I gotta show you. People love you, dude.
Where'd it go?
Okay,
Yeah.
there.
People freaking out.
Hey,
messages?
Frank. Yeah. Oh man, hold on, let me mute out for a little bit.
Whenever Alex gets back, he had a question in the chat asking what you were talking about JCs and a bar fight or something like that. To Frank.
Oh yeah, I'll answer that. I'll answer everyone when I get back.
I hope I kicked the right one. Are you there, Frank?
Can't hear nobody.
Okay, well,
Can't
maybe
hear
you have
nobody.
to
Oh yeah, I'll answer that.
close your YouTube and just keep StreamYard open.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we
Maybe
got some
Actually,
background.
I'm here.
Frank's TV.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just muted you, Frank, because we have audio problems. You have to put in some headphones or turn off the YouTube so we can't hear YouTube, please. And there you go. I unmuted.
I'm
just muted you, Frank, because we have audio problems. You have to put in some headphones or turn off YouTube so we can't hear YouTube, please.
He's gonna have to listen to it.
There we go. He'll get it.
Is that better, guys?
Perfect.
That's better. Yeah.
So we've had our differences in the past, Frank. Are you cool coming up here? You all right with me?
You guys have issues?
I'm wondering. I'm cool with him. I'm wondering if he's cool.
Oh, damn.
I think he's
Hold on,
having
guys.
audio issues.
Put my earbuds in.
All right. Let us know when you're back.
Frank's back. What's up, Carly?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Where'd that little bitch go?
He
Who, me?
Oh man.
He's a very special person, Frank.
No. Ass crack as above.
I keep freezing up.
Oh, he's just talking shit. Just
Yeah, I see that because me and him had a battle out one time too. He had to go.
yeah.
He's got to go through me before he gets to Greeno. I can tell you that right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I ain't playing with that motherfucker no more. He claiming that Libby had a fucking hatchet in her head and shit.
Man, a lot
People are
of people be
crazy.
claiming a lot of stuff, dude.
He's nuts.
I mean, dude, there was a
He is nuts.
There was
I
one guy
agree.
that called in and told Michael Catt that he said, I know exactly what kind of t-shirt that the bridge guy's wearing. And he's like, okay, how do you know that? And he's like, I can tell. I can tell by that little design right here. That's an Elvis 1972 World Tour t-shirt. And I'm like, hearing this from Cat, right? Cat's telling me this. And I'm like, that's a pretty specific t-shirt for someone to say, you know, and you can't even see the guy's t-shirt. But the person was adamant that that was the truth. Like, there was no way around it. That was real to that person. How do people get like that?
Smoking too much drugs, man.
Too much acid.
Yeah.
Too many drugs,
tell you
man.
what.
Goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that schizo type thinking could take you places. I'm telling you, you just have to be careful with it. But it gets you places. Yeah.
And now he has
Crazy.
a habit of fucking with Randy all the time.
Yeah, people need to leave Randy alone, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Randy might be a softie, but he's got a big fucking heart. He does.
So yeah, Randy's one of the coolest guys around here.
I had an email with him a few weeks ago, and because I made a joke about him, and you know I've known him for 2.5 years. I think we're good on that. But there's people emailing him, trying to get him, you know, taking advantage and stuff. Dude, people got to relax a little bit.
I mean,
relax.
me and Nick had our run in at one point in time, but I think we squashed that a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hold grudges. Dude, I'm not gonna act fake. You know, I say what I think, and then if people can respect that, I can respect them too. I just want people to have. I just don't understand why people do the same thing over and over and over again, and then the lack of empathy. I make mistakes all the time, so I don't. hold it against
Well,
people.
I'll be the first one to tell you. I make mistakes on a daily basis. You know,
Same here,
and
man.
I'll
Same.
Everybody does.
and I'll be the first one to tell you. Well, I just fucked up there. Let me fix this. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but this core of people right here in this on this platform right here, we all need to be working together.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly, man. I think
All of us need to be working together.
some of us are going to be, maybe meeting soon. I'll be meeting some other creators here soon.
Yeah, I'll be meeting with you. I'll be meeting with you in June.
Yep.
At the Bob hearing. I can't wait for that, boys.
And are you gonna go to Kagan's hearing?
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure yet. He's got that pre-trial coming up in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, the 30th.
And I do believe he's going to trial in May because if he's not, the state would have never released a witness list like that.
Yeah, we got a lot of crazy stuff coming, man. Oh yeah,
And
the
I'm
really
JC's bar
interested
thing. Yeah, I heard people
go ahead.
at some bar. Not sure if it's JC's after the original sketch was released. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. That I don't know if you guys heard that rumor before, but I was curious about that. Like anything bar related, I'm really curious about for sure. Yeah, going forward. Yeah,
I only know 2 bars in Delphi, and that's the Office and JC's. There's only 2 I know of.
Oh man, yeah. I just want to say for the record, I did not plan that at all. It just happened, but it was a nice surprise, you know.
Well, if I'd have been on the panel here,
guy, but
that would have been. Yeah, if I'd have been on the panel when he was on here, me and him have been going at it.
I mean, aside from the captain, I think I've had the most beef with As Above, and you see me up here trying to be chill, trying to talk to him. I mean, dude, I don't know if you guys can see my channel, the videos I still have up, but it's like people will fuck with you so hard. So if I see people just talking shit, try to talk to them as much as I can. If they want to talk, I'll talk. If they don't, then fuck it.
It's almost like these people are trying to throw certain individuals' mojo off, when it comes to the case.
Yeah,
you know?
I can relate to him. I can relate to him and being like treated like blackfish, like let in the tank. Nobody wants to mess with you. Maybe only a few people, and you get like schizo thinking. You touch, even though some stuff may be this or that, whatever. You touch on like a lot of real stuff that nobody even like gets to that type of theory, and it's like, yeah, there's something there for sure. So that's
a good question, man.
That's my take on it. Yeah. Is there anything about Tony?
What does everyone think about Tony as a witness? Well, I think that's obvious because he was at the house where the crime was being committed. He is someone that would be considered a state's witness.
Honestly, I'm looking at them trying to pin him and Keegan on each other during the trial.
Yeah, me personally, I think
already done.
I'm friends with a lot of TK, KK people, and I went down that route hard. But I would say who knows if they're gonna rat on each other or not. But I think if there was a lure, it's like some weird ricochet or something that hasn't maybe in theory, but like it's gonna be surprising. It's not gonna be as simple. If it was as simple as everybody thought or assumed, then this case would have been solved a long time ago. So
right,
yeah, yeah.
You guys should you should pull up that video I just made about that. Actually, I just made a video showing the whole Klein revelations. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff that happened, like right there, that was a big moment for all of them, all the people that were covering that right there. I remember, dude, Graz, Graz, I remember you were sleeping, and like Graz was on like this weird shift where he was like up part of the night and early morning, and then he eat the rest. And I remember when the Klein thing happened, all that stuff happened like during the day, and it was like, wow, everybody freaked out. And then when you woke up, I think we were supposed to do like a breakdown show, and I'm like, dude, this is so crazy. And you're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, did you not see any of this stuff today? And you're like, and it's like, what? And then he started looking at it, and he was like just blown away at what we were finding. It was such a that was a big twist in the case, man. I think we all thought that was going to get solved right then. I thought that was the end of it right there.
What do you think of Dirk Hayes being a witness on the state's witness list?
Oh yeah, all those like the Trexlers and the Durkays and the Galicko, I don't know how you say it. All that stuff. You know, I've been with people that went like super deep with that stuff, and it wasn't that fruitful. You know, could be in the future, but
Well, the reason why I said that I asked about Dirk Hayes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. The Dirk Hayes thing really is really intriguing to me because of the fact that if you go to his Facebook page and check out his his photo studio, whatever he does, it's basically almost X-rated.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, wow, is this dude into some creepy shit too, or what?
Yeah. Is he the one that went with Keegan to Vegas?
He went to Vegas with Dirk and lived with Dirk Hayes for a little while.
Yeah. And have you guys heard the rumor that it was a M-word run?
Death run?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. Is there any validity to that, you think?
Well, I mean, according to what Keegan was saying in the transcripts, it was all weed, but I don't think it was weed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't.
After talking to Dirk, I feel a little bit different about him, but honestly, I was really I didn't even look at him until a couple months ago because on the murder sheet, that's how I read the transcript through them reading it with their voices, and they left out a whole bunch. And when I looked him up, I had mutual friends with him in Vegas. Like, I was like, oh shit, I want to learn about this guy or find out about him. My friends that I knew through him didn't reach out, and he just told me there's nothing more I can say, that, you know, the detectives were talking to me. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight pretty much. But, dude, I don't like he has a photography business, and it just looks so sussy. I don't like it. But
exactly.
I don't like how they talk about the child ring and how it's the biggest in Indiana, but how many arrests? We've seen a lot of arrests, but none of them in connection. No one's outright said this has to do with that.
Well, no one said that, but also no one said. They also didn't tell us that Klein had anything to do with communicating with the girls either, right? They wouldn't confirm that either. They wouldn't tell us if they were connected. We won't tell you if they're connected to the Delphi case. We'll tell you why we're investigating the Delphi case. We came up with this social media profile named Anthony Schatz, and we're looking for information on the individual who created that. Has anybody met this person before? So they already knew all that.
Yeah.
Why did they wait so long, man? I wish I still had that video up. I saw it on Facebook.
And it really still bothers me to this day is when he went in and talked to him and they let him go until August 20th.
I want to ask one question to a gentleman in the audience. I think I have the right guy. Hunting Evil True Crime. I believe you were the guy who said Tony Klein by name about a year before the Klein information came out. Is that true? Because I've heard rumors that it was a different Tony Klein. And you could find that video on his YouTube channel. I just want to see what he has to say. Because he brought up a lot of names in one of his videos. I think his name is Michael from Indiana.
Yeah, shout out to Michael. Yeah.
I just wanted to know.
He's another disabled veteran.
Yeah, he's been good to me, man. I like that guy. But
No, I don't know.
And he's got this message down here about Blaine. Honestly, I think Blaine was murdered. That's my.
Yeah. I heard about that one. Yeah, I heard about that theory.
Blaine who?
Blaine. He was. He's the cousin of. Oh boy, that killed Karina. Farmer, Flint Farmer's son's cousin. Yes, I know about the Jamie Beasley because it happened not too far from where I'm at. I know some friends of hers.
Yeah, I don't know any of those guys. I want to be careful that we're not releasing any full names that haven't been brought, forward yet. But I thought
Jamie Beasley, she's been deceased for the last couple of years.
Okay.
They found her in a ditch. Yeah.
Yeah. He told me Blaine
I don't know if it was a hot shot.
part of the Kokomo crew or something like that.
Well, I think what happened there was that when he was on that other creator's channel, I think he was just digging for information.
Yeah.
So, okay, with Tony, just bringing it back, Tony.
Oh,
Klein,
here we go. Asshat's back.
Tony Klein has had 1 million people speak up against what he's done to them, and a lot of people say, "Where's your proof? He hasn't done this." Da da da. How come people defend him? Because he is the worst person that I've ever seen. He raised Keegan, first of all, and it's arguable nature versus nurture that Keegan wouldn't be like that if it wasn't for Tony. And then you have his stepson and stepdaughter and his ex-wife who is scared to say anything, and they're telling their stories. You know,
where are these stories at? I've never heard of these.
He got slapped on the wrist. The Murder Sheet interviewed them. Maybe that's why you said you didn't watch them yet. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay, so the Murder Sheet interviewed Tony's friend.
I mean,
family?
Yeah, his stepson, his stepdaughter.
Yeah.
My thing, people are going to call me, a woman beater, which I'm not, and I see Tony Klein getting away with it. It makes me kind of have this personal thing, like, I hope everybody knows that he's a piece of shit, really. People out there offering him to, come on the show.
Yeah, I think people got the memo, but, yeah, for me, being graceful works, because I can definitely tell, when the tables are turned and I'm in that position, then later on, I was shown... grace for sure. So it does work out. It's not all for nothing. It's not, you don't always have to be so heavy handed, but
it's hard sometimes.
Yeah. It's definitely, that's what most people struggle with,
It's easy to get that way doing true crime. You know what I mean? Because you come across all bad stuff, really. Everything's bad, sad and bad. And it's like, you get to a point where it's just like, everybody tips things in. You get to some points, like I know I did for a while in the Delphi case. People had turned in so many tips, like to me, of things to look into, but they just started getting out of control. It's like, okay, not the dude. Probably could have thrown Richard Allen right at me. Not the dude. It's not him, man. Somebody else. You just get that way, and then you're like, okay, every
but all the craziness and maybe it's like stress testing your brain for something more important, down the road. Yeah, not to be a fake guru or whatever, but mercy and grace, tends to work out. Everybody agrees having discipline over your anger and stuff, is a good trait. But yeah, dude.
Just to answer Amber, when I say I made don't say random people's full names. By random, I mean people who haven't been brought up in public yet. If it's somebody's Facebook friend that's never been mentioned, I'd save it for your own people and your own groups to investigate. Just that's my own preference. So you can do whatever you want on your channel. I
won't lie. The Discords and Telegrams where a lot of action's going on, man. Facebook, there's still good Facebook groups, and I came in liking Reddit more. I like Facebook a lot more now, to be honest. Especially once you start networking there. Yeah, Reddit's not. You remember the Reddit used to be I used to check that thing daily, and there was some good stuff on there. And YouTube comments have been really good. And what else? Yeah, Telegram, Discord. Telegram hasn't really popped off that much, but the Discords, Discord's a lot of craziness going on there, man. Yeah.
I'm in a lot of Discord groups.
I'm sorry you think I hate
Discord's
you.
Pretty lit.
I don't hate wife Lilith. I just dislike you a lot. It's not for anything bad. It's just the way I feel. But you're welcome in here. It's mainly because you visited Keegan Klein a bunch of times and claimed to be his wife, and then you're badgering Greeno. Greeno, you were a searcher. Just admit you were there that day, right, Greeno? It's that's not what we're doing here.
You're gonna get me to you're gonna ask me a question, and I'm just gonna be like, you know what, man? I've been lying the whole time. I was there. Is that what you want me to do? And then what's that gonna do? What would that do?
After 3 years of it, you're just
That reminds me, Keegan's tried to message me 4 times in the last 5 days.
Why can't you get the message?
because he ain't got no money on his trip device, and that's what he's looking for, and I'm not going there.
Did he ever ask you for favors?
He just wanted to, he said, I'll do an hour and a half interview with you and Marv for $100. And we were skeptical about that because I caught him in a trap is what I did. Later on that evening, he came back to me and said, have you guys made a decision? Because I got to get my commissary in before the end of the day. And that's when I knew this was what that was all about. It was all about money. And I said, nope, not going there.
Yep. I would have been like, you know what, man? How about you need a little bit of a diet, and we're going to put you on one this week. And so we're going to go without that commissary, and we're going to wait until next week until you give that interview. And once that interview is complete, then I'm going to drop the money in your books.
Yeah, that's what me and Marv were talking about, and he wasn't going for it. And see, another thing me and him got into it about one time is that he accused me of harassing wife Lilith. I'm like, I have never talked to that chick outside on YouTube or anything.
Yeah.
I don't see any benefit of him saying about the red Jeep, about waiting there for the killer to do what he was doing. I don't see any benefit because they wouldn't drop his charges for a lie. They would have to have something solid to drop it. And they could have dropped the charges just for the legalities to make it run smoother in court. Like,
well, from my understanding,
to lie about
gave them more information that I would say it led him to him, Richard Allen, somehow.
Seems like it.
But whatever happened in that river is what led him to get his charges dismissed.
Well, the charges were dismissed, from my understanding, is because they couldn't prove the 5 charges that they were minors, and they couldn't prove that they were under the age of 18.
How can you not prove that?
Oh.
I have no clue. That's what my understanding was.
Must be from another country.
Yeah.
Looks like Alex dropped out. There you go.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
I do say, just back on the Klein thing, I find it really weird that the Tony ghosted Keegan for a number of months or something, and right when the James Bryan Chadwell news leaked, it was huge, and Tony started visiting him again. Like, it seems like when there's not heat on him, he'll be cool with Keegan, and he gets like really shaken up. Like, okay, look at a victim's family standpoint. We know why Derek German's not talking to the public, because it's sad, it's traumatic, he doesn't want to, he knows how people can twist his words. What about Tony, dude? He hasn't said one word, and that looks bad.
It looks more suspicious when they don't say anything good.
Look at Richard Allen in jail. His first day or whatever there, he writes a letter saying, I want to be at the mercy of the courts. He doesn't say I'm innocent. He's never once said I didn't kill Abby and Libby. His lawyers might have. He's never said anything like that. He looks bad.
He has. He did do it.
Honestly, I don't think he's going to trial. Honestly, I don't think he'll be going to trial. I think he'll plead out, and he's going to start ratting out other people that's involved, if he's not the only one.
Yeah, whoever the other people are, they're pretty good at hiding. They haven't caught him yet, even with cell dumps and cell records.
Right.
Bro. Ask wife Lilith if she knows anybody by Justin L, and she'll probably know the last name. If she knows a Justin L. Yeah.
I'd love to see that message from him. Like, yeah, I made that up to get, money. Like, I'd love to see, Lilith, that would help so many people debunk stuff. We've been wondering for months, and it makes Murder Sheet look so bad. But they could be telling the truth. For all we know, they could, because they said it came from law enforcement source that told them this stuff. But Keegan could have been lying. I just go in circles and circles about that.
No, you're good. Hey, can you play that thing right there in the background while we're talking? Like, you can turn the sound off. I sent it in the thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Footage of the people that we're talking about. It does have audio, or that's actually the YouTube link, I think.
Oh yeah, it's playing in background. Look good.
Okay, there you go. You can fast forward that part or whatever.
Dang.
Yeah.
We'll just go into it in about 30 seconds, I guess.
Hey, I got a dip right now to all you guys, but I'm gonna catch you guys later. And,
thanks for taking your time out to come on.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
It was
Alex.
a good one, man. It was one of my favorites. Yeah.
It was good to see you, bro.
That was like one of my top favorite streams. Not even kidding, man. Like, oh my god, dude, that was a good one. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Have a good one, bro.
All right, brother. See you later, Alex.
Peace out. Later,
dude.
That was nice.
What a cool dude, man.
Yeah, he is. He's a good guy.
He's a very, yeah.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's a really
That's a
good
good
guy.
question.
So yeah, so man,
Yeah.
what is it?
Well, again, this is why the murder sheet's so controversial. They allegedly put out information saying that the Klein's parents, their property and fire pit was searched. So it's like there's a lot of stuff like that. So I don't know.
Whose fire pit was searched? The Klein's?
The Klein's
Allegedly.
parents.
Yeah. What do you know about that, Frank?
I heard about it, but I have never actually got verification on it. And then there was a rumor going around about Tony Klein's dad committing suicide, and I said, no.
Yeah, no.
Nope. That never happened.
Yeah, his dad, the thing is with his dad, it's really crazy though. He was there for some reason Tony or Keegan felt inclined to call Grandpa Klein to come over that day, the polygraph, and they were breaking down crying together. It's kind of, to me it's weird, but it could be normal. It's, I mean, just look at him. He's just a little baby. There's nothing wrong with him. Whoa, Kevin's got a big head of hair there. What's happened? Anyway. What happened? Something. I mean, look at him. This is his high school picture. He's very weird. But
what is it, Kevin down there in the left-hand corner? What is that?
I gave him some hair. It's funny. Yeah, see, then you got people like Lilith saying the fire pit was not searched. I swear, it's like murder sheet's gotten bunk information, so I don't know.
You're at the Maxwell house now.
Yeah, it was talking about the Maxwell house because that was the first house that was raided where they took electronics, and shortly after that they went to his house, Klein's.
I got word the reason why they searched that house. I don't know how true it is. The Maxwell house. Yeah.
Go ahead. I want to hear what you've been told too, because I think I know too.
I think what I was told is that one certain police officer who actually examined Libby's phone found nude photos in her phone and a letter right to Logan Maxwell's house.
Okay. So
see, I
didn't hear that. I did hear that there may have been some communication on social media between them, but I also do know that one of the family members saw him on the railroad tracks walking it would have been from that area, but it would have been a little bit of ways away. You know what I mean? But it would
Bicycle Road's really not that far from the Freedom Bridge and all that.
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of is. I mean, it's kind of across town. I mean, you can it's really nothing's that far in Delphi, but it's easy to walk. It would take a minute, but you could walk it.
Right.
I think that he was spotted, somewhere around that area on the tracks, and I think they also communicated on social media because they did take the electronics, and they did start looking into other people, and that's eventually what led them to the client's house 11 days after the murder. So it was a social media thing right off the get, and I don't think any of us really realized that.
That brings me, how you look at the Ron Logan search warrant and you think, what were these guys thinking? That is crazy that they said those things in that way. But but we know that they say the stuff because they need to search. They need to they don't want to release any more information than they have to as well. So I think that same thing, but compare it to the Richard Allen, the affidavit that we got. Is it possible that Logan Maxwell was in fact the guy who was walking away? And they take all the witness statements, everything that they have from people, and they packaged it up to get an arrest on Allen without revealing any more information. I think there's a lot more that we don't know, and I think it's all going to come out. But could
Logan Maxwell be the person in black?
I don't know.
No. Long hair.
Yeah.
I see. I've never seen a picture of Logan Maxwell, so I've tried to look for him. I'm on Facebook and everything, and there's no profile for him on there anywhere.
Yeah, you probably have seen a picture of him, but it's an older one.
Right.
If they see him in the area, he's known to even be like Libby's friend on Facebook, and he was around the trails that day. That's probably enough. That's probably why they searched him first. Probably.
No, I mean,
he probably has
anybody that was in that
nothing
area.
to do with it.
Probably not. I would assume that they would have made an arrest by now if that was the case.
Like, for instance, Frank, I'm not to put you on the spot, but like when people tell you that, what is your process? Are you like, can you prove that? Have you given me information in the past that lines up? Like, if people say he sent her a nude, that's kind of a big thing, Like, how do people come up with this stuff, I guess?
An individual Anthony talks to quite a bit is the one that gave me the information.
Yeah, I think is it the same sort? Is it someone who says the girls were washed and all this kind of off? I mean, I think it's off the wall. It could be true, but it's never been proven, and it's just like such a unverified thing, and it just grows and grows and grows. Because it used to be just that they were Facebook friends, and it kind of evolved into more, which is now they're like nude images involved, and I'm like, these theories just get bigger and bigger, and more lies and more rumors get packed on.
And see, I've never mentioned that on any of my lives about the Logan Maxwell situation, because like I said, I won't say anything like that unless if I say something like that, I'll just say that's what I was told, that's speculation or rumor. That's all I say, because
we don't know. A lot of us don't know.
Right.
Honestly,
play the
guys,
audio for this.
Yeah, I found Derek Godsey is. I don't know.
And showing the events that.
And you want to know what we know. One day, you will.
This is the timeline.
If you have followed this case from the beginning, or more directly, followed this channel during the course of my personal investigation, you may realize the significance of the timeline you are about to see. This is a timeline showing the events that now seem to make sense after almost 5 years. Prior to the murders, December 26th, 2016, Liberty German uploads a photo of herself to Instagram, and the Anthony Schatz profile clicked like on the post. 50 days prior to the murders, Libby's account is set to private, meaning in order for him to see her photos or post, she had to approve his follow request. After the murders, February 25th, 2017, FBI searched a home in Peru, Indiana, in connection to the killings of the 2 Delphi teenagers. The name of a man who lives at the Peru home on Canal Street had come up during an ongoing investigation into the homicides of 14-year-old Liberty German and 13-year-old Abigail Williams. April 27th, 2017. Indiana Computer Cybercrimes Against Children Task Force is now assisting in the Delphi murders investigation.
That eerie recording and this picture pulled from Libby German's cell phone came from a specialized police team in Indiana, the state's Computer Crimes Against Children Task Force. Call 6 Investigates Paris Lubell got an inside look at the task force and what they're doing to help.
It's the same group of dedicated investigators that helped bring down Subway pitchman Jared Fogle and park tutor coach Kyle Cox, and now they're lending a helping hand in the Delphi investigation.
It's the picture and the audio recording that's been seen around the country. Pulled off Libby German's cell phone by this team.
Essentially, the idea is to try to recover the most useful evidence from the most likely places as quickly as possible.
The unit typically investigates child pornography or child seduction crimes, but it's not all the investigators do.
Investigators can provide specialized technical assistance in a wide variety of investigations.
And they did just that in Delphi, using their expertise to get the video off Libby's phone, which could be the key piece of evidence in the case.
It is hard to think of a particular crime that's been committed where there isn't digital evidence, where there isn't evidence that's stored in a cell phone.
Because the Delphi investigation is still ongoing, the unit couldn't talk about the specifics on their role in the investigation. But as an example, they showed us how they would gather data off a cell phone using an RTV6 iPhone.
Oftentimes, it's going to be a single video, a single image, a single piece of internet-based communication, text-based communication going back and forth that provides a crucial piece of evidence. In some cases, that's the only piece of evidence that will lead us to a previously unknown, unidentified victim or unknown, unidentified suspect.
It's this team and this specialized truck that allows the investigators the technology to dig and deliver details someone may not want exposed.
That's cool.
The investigators on this case are joining the hundreds of other state, local, and federal agencies helping on the Delphi investigation, all just with one goal, that's to find the killer.
December 21st, 2018. Indiana State Police seized Anthony Greeno's phone based on an individual you have had contact with that we would like to look into, said Indiana State Police detectives in a recorded interview with Greeno on May 21st, 2019. April 22nd, 2019, police announced a new direction in the Delphi case 4 months after Greeno's phone was confiscated and said it was based on new information and intelligence received.
Information is being released today is the result of literally thousands and thousands of hours of extraordinary investigative efforts. The result of the new information and intelligence over time leads us to believe the sketch, which you will see shortly, is the person responsible for the murders of these two little girls. For more than 2 years, you never thought we would shift gears to a different investigative strategy, but we have.
December 6th, 2021, around 10 p.m. Through YouTube, Indiana State Police requested information on a fake online profile named Anthony Shots and linked it to the Abby and Libby tip line.
And the Indiana State Police have uncovered an online profile named Anthony Shots. This profile was being used from 2016 to 2017 on social media applications, including but not limited to Snapchat and Instagram. The creator of the fictitious profile used this information while communicating with juvenile females to solicit nude images, obtain their address, and attempt to meet with them.
December 7th, 2021. Statements made by the anonymous female caller on True Crime Investigates said cops questioned her over Klein and the Delphi murders in February 2020 and suggested that they were seeking to link him to the murders of Abby and Libby. When you interviewed with the investigator, you're talking about investigators working on the Delphi double homicide case, right?
Correct.
During this interview with law enforcement,
Mm-hmm.
did they say anything about him being the Delphi suspect or anything like that, or any kind of link or anything like that?
They said they were looking into him for this, for that case. They didn't have any direct, ties, but it seemed like they definitely had something that they were after. And I do remember them giving me a specific name for a social media account, but I can't remember what it was.
December 10th, 2021. Indiana State Police are expected to release new information in Keegan Klein's cybercrime case.
Now we've learned state police may be ready to give new information about the timing of the arrest in that case and their public call for information this week. News 8's Demi Johnson explains.
We stopped by several places today and no one wanted to talk. We want to know why court documents say Keegan Klein was interviewed and admitted to running and creating the Anthony Shots account just 12 days after the girls were murdered, but he wasn't taken into custody until more than 3 years later. The Miami County prosecutor told me in a statement he was not able to talk about the investigation, but said state police were expected to release more information early next week.
Lots of parents say my kid would never show a naked portion of their body. I'm here to tell you it happens far more often than anyone wants to believe.
Could this be the one? And are there other child predators linked to all of this? This is the Delphi murders.
So crazy, isn't it?
Cybercrime. The evidence is unfolding.
That was really good, man. Really, really good.
It's just a lot, like that stuff. I watched it the other day because I found it and I brought it back. I was like, I need to air this because a lot of this stuff is interesting information. Like all that stuff that happened at that time, like just the breakdown between the Maxwells to the Kleins to this and that. At that time, it was like things started to make sense for me. Like, oh man, that's the house in Peru. Okay, I remember them searching that house in Peru. They said nobody there was a suspect, and then come to find out it was him, and they knew, and I don't know, it was just weird, and then they didn't start grilling the dude until like 3 years later.
Dude,
why didn't they
was
start
something else,
hammering
man. That reminded me when you were asking about what we think about Derek Hayes. That was my question. I really wanted him to answer. I said, hey, did detectives talk to you before 2020? Because by all accounts, all of his friends, all those people, it was 2020, after those 3 years that he was free, that they finally talked to people. I just wanted to ask were you questioned in 2017? But he didn't want to answer any questions, of course, and I don't blame him. But
Do you think they could have been using him as a CI?
yeah, I think they could be, getting a lot of he lived with them for a long time, so he probably knows. You saw if you didn't see, they had an interview with his mother came on the show, and she said, how Keegan had padlocks on his doors when he lived there. Crazy stuff. The only thing that gets me is I don't like his photography business. It looks really suspect. You know what I mean?
It's almost like a pornography type.
To me, it looks like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it sure does.
So, wait, whose photography business is that guy?
Dirk
is there
Cave.
pictures of the guy on the website?
Yeah, this is friend 1 in the transcripts, in the Keegan Klein
Friend
transcripts. The one that he moved to Vegas with to
That
live
lived
with.
right next door to Keegan and his dad.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me ask this. So there was, in those transcripts that I read all the transcripts. I had to read everything. There was this part in there that was like, how that it was pretending to be this Emily Ann account or whatever. Someone was texting from it. At one part in there, a lot of stuff was redacted. There was one little part that wasn't redacted, where someone had got on that Emily Ann account and said, "Hey, this is Adam," and wrote something, right? And I thought, oh man, hey, that's probably a clue. Like, it said, "Hey, this is Adam," from that account. So I was like, who's Adam? So I think I actually hit up Marv. I did. I texted her and I was like, hey, listen, I got this. I came across something where it's an Adam name. Did that name ever come up for anybody?
You talk about Adam Cottrell.
Yes. There you go. Yes. He was caught with dealing weed or something like that. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I've got a photo of him. Yeah, I got a photo of him.
All right. That's exactly. So when I told her that, I was like, find a picture of this guy. And she's like, he kind of looks like the second sketch. And I'm like,
well, honestly, he looks more like the first sketch.
He does?
Yeah. Yep. And remember, the last name Cottrell was mentioned by Garrett Kirks on the Open Secrets. Sheena Cottrell saying that.
Yep.
The video, alleged video.
That's where I get
Which
lost.
video?
Garrett Kurtz said there was a video taken of the crime. And that Ashley Garth and all them told him about it, and that the Sheena Cottrell, Nick Edwards, and all of them had seen it.
See, well, this is what I mean by the full names thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bud.
I know what you're saying, but that Sonny's been through all that, and that's part of why she took my first channel down, because I spoke up against it. It's like there's friend 1, friend 2, they're redacted, we don't know, and it's a rabbit hole, man. You dig in, it's interesting. I think Alex is the best person to talk about that with, because he went through it. He actually interrogated a bunch of people involved, and if he feels like it's a rabbit hole that doesn't have any ending, I would say that people look too deep, and it probably starts and stops with father and son and how they were acting under that roof with the phones.
See, that is kind of strange with the phone, because remember when they got all of the electronics out of there, and when Keegan came back and found the other iPhone and he went and turned it in, who had that iPhone the whole time? You see what I'm saying? And that's why it makes me think. There. Yeah. But if they tore the house apart, I'm sure they would have found it.
He contradicts himself a lot in that stuff. He's like, oh, who else had access? My dad. And then he's like, well, my dad doesn't really, he doesn't know how to use the phone. I have to do it for him.
Or he says he lets his friends use it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, to do what? To watch that kind of stuff? Isn't it? Did he say something like that? He lets his friends use it to watch porn? Or something? Or the cops were asking him about that?
Hey, I got to back out and come back in, guys. Hold on.
Okay. Was something like that said, or am I wrong here?
What was that? Say that again.
So was something said in there? Maybe this is something that I heard or whatever because I was gone. But I think, did someone say that Klein had? Man, I don't remember what I was talking about. Really, I mean, I was so deep in the thought of it. I can't remember what I said. I wish I could rewind this. Someone rewind.
Let me go back. I'll take this question. Graz, since you're on a moral kick, which is kind of funny, riddle me this. Why would I allow my friends to get doxxed when you told me a while back about this was going on in my Discord? Grizz, that was centered around a couple really crazy ladies, if they are even ladies. They're what I call my trolls, so I stay as far away from them as possible. I think you wrote me a message like, you said in my Discord someone was getting doxxed, and I jumped in there and kicked people out. Don't know what you mean. So you can definitely talk. You can call in and talk to us if you have anything to say, no problem. And thanks, Aspen. Yeah, Dirk spoke to law enforcement in 2020, what I was thinking. So they went 3 years without talking to Keegan's friends, you know.
Who's Aspen? I hear his name a lot.
He's part of It's a Crime Shame with Sonny Justice and them.
Oh, yeah, actually, I want to... You send me an
What's
email.
up, what's going on, Aspen? Good to see you.
Point.
I don't know. It's just excuse my French, but this case is just a clusterfuck to me at this point in time.
It's really bad, but that's what makes me fall into it.
The 2020 charge, I think, was obstruction of justice, but there might have been more. I think he got obstruction of justice in 2020, but maybe not.
I wonder what for. Well, why would he get obstruction of justice? I mean, it's been all that time. Oh, because he held on to that phone. That's probably why.
Yeah, but that was...
He deleted stuff off of it. That's obstruction.
But I think they backcharged an obstruction in 2017. So I think he has either two or three obstruction charges. But I have to be fact checked.
Here, let me check real quick, guys. Give me a second.
How much time is he going to actually do you think?
I'd say 30 years.
I'd say so too, 20 to 30.
Yeah.
I think, Frank, I agree with you about saying you don't think it's going to go to trial. I think he's going to make a deal and we're going to be pissed off. I think he's going to get 10 years and serve 5 of them or something stupid, and then everyone's going to be mad.
No, there's no way he's going to be able to do that. See, okay, so the laws did change in Indiana. Murder carries 45 to 65. A minimum of 45. Okay?
But we're talking about the Kleins, not Richard, I think.
Oh, the Kleins. Oh,
like
okay,
Keegan
yeah.
Klein
Well, you know
for his
what?
30
You're right,
counts.
dude. That is a possibility because they're not going to charge him with all 30 counts. Let me go look at that. Actually, I'm going to look it up on my case at the same time. So
that's only if he
those charges
does a deal, a good deal.
If he does a deal, yeah, and he is doing a deal. We already know that because Andrew Aki has already said we need a little more time to prep negotiations for my client. So they are negotiating. They don't want to go to trial. Keegan, he's hit. I mean, nobody wants to go to a jury trial, right?
Oh, no.
I mean, especially guilty. Even if you're not guilty, you still don't want to go to it because it's scary, you know? So
you're better off to take a plea deal because you're better off. You're more than likely going to get less time because if you go to trial, the jury is more likely going to max you out.
Exactly. And I don't know exactly how the law, I mean, I know how it works. I think this is how the law works. Typically, if you have different charges, like different counts of charges under one cause number, then your case usually runs concurrent, okay, which means they run all those charges at the same time. You could get 10 years on each one of them, but you serve it all at the same time. Now, if the charges contain different victims, then that can be ran consecutively. So it depends on each one of those counts. If they are different victims, those charges can run consecutively, and he could serve each one of those sentences back to back to back if they want to be assholes and do that to him. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they could give someone life in prison, right? And they would sit in prison for a long time, and they would still have a possibility of parole and getting out. But if you sentence someone consecutively to, like, I'm going to sentence you to 70 years, but I'm going to give you 3 of them, and we're going to serve them back to back to back. You're not living past the first 2, you know, maybe past the first 1, 70 years.
You talk about concurrent. You talk about concurrent.
Concurrence ran at the same time, consecutives back to back. Yeah. Run it consecutive. Keep
right.
And that's only if there is something to a big CSAM ring or involved in Delphi to where he would have leverage. And it honestly seems like he does. He's kind of had his continuances, and he's been back and forth with negotiations. His public defender, whatever, Akey, said we're in negotiations. That's why we want to.
And see, that's why I keep speculating that Keegan's tied into this somehow, because if you think about it, both court cases are simultaneously running together. One has a hearing, then the next week, the next case will continue. This is what's been happening since last October.
Right.
Think about it. Richard Allen's bond hearing was supposed to be last month, right? They moved it all the way to June. You got Keegan Kline coming up this month and in May.
Exactly. Kline's got to fulfill his part.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
This is probably his last chance. They released the witness list for the state. He has no more chances. If he does make a deal, it'll probably be this next time.
I honestly believe he's probably on the witness list for Delphi.
I wouldn't.
I'm
yeah,
sure
I
he
bet
is
either witness, prosecution, or defense. I don't know who, but I think it would be smarter. Logically, it'd be smarter, in my opinion, to pick one person of interest to defend Richard with, and it would probably be, honestly, Ron Logan would be a better guy to fight with than Keegan, but I don't think Ron Logan had anything to do with it. I just think that search warrant is really messed up what it did to him.
Well, we all know what the defense is planning to do. It's going to be the Ron Logan show. Yeah. We all know that.
You know, I seem to think that it's going to be, I think they're going to be all over statements made by law enforcement. I think, or just earlier when we watched that little clip, Doug Carter, just the things that he said in this case at the 1-year press conference. I asked him, have you been able to clear anybody in this case? And his response was, on television, the people that we have spoken with this far, we feel confident that there's no involvement. Okay? So he's going to say Richard Allen was talked about in that time frame, and you felt that there was no involvement of any of those people. Second, they said that they repeated that in April when the Chadwell stuff came up, when I asked again. Yes, you feel that those people have no involvement. Then they come out, they had that sketch, and they said, this is the person responsible for killing the girls. He looks like this, and he's 18 to 40. He's not 18 to 40, and he looks like the first sketch, just like it. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think law enforcement screwed themselves on this, if they did.
Well, remember when they removed all the information off the wanted poster, they took the height, the weight, the age, everything off there. That told me that law enforcement had no damn clue who it was.
To me, it made it seem like they knew exactly who it was. See, I can see why you say that now, though. Like, it would make them open. They want more tips, but me, I'm like, oh well, now they definitely know that he's not this. So I can see both points too.
I mean, I was talking to Anthony yesterday about this. I said I still got a problem with Richard Allen. Just as the fact, if you look at Richard Allen, I've seen him in person. He went no more than 10 feet away from me. Okay, and then I look at Bridge Guy, and I'm like, man, Bridge Guy's got awful long legs compared to Richard Allen.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He looks taller in the Bridge Guy video.
Yeah.
He looks taller. I mean, someone is asking a question. So, no, I don't think I've ever been considered a suspect in the Delphi case. I do see, though, some weird coincidences that may make them actually, if they were coming across the Anthony Schatz stuff and looking into the Keegan Kline thing, there are some weird things about that if you knew me and didn't know him and you heard some of the things that were said, you might be like, okay, this may be talking about Anthony Greeno. People asked me at the beginning when this Anthony Schatz thing came out, it said it was a photographer, right? So am I. And then this Kline thing came out, something about in Vegas as a bounty hunter. I mean, how many other people are talking about stuff like that? And I'm like, okay, Emily Ann had a girlfriend named Emily Ann. You know what I mean? Like, that was my girlfriend when I had at the beginning of this case. Just a weird coincidences where I could see if law enforcement came across that information, they could say maybe this person knows something and would look into me. But I don't think I've ever been a suspect in the case.
Did you know that Tony Klein has a niece by the name of Emily Ann?
You see, I've heard a whole bunch of different ways that may be connected. I didn't really know who it could have been.
Okay, and I also looked into the Yobo app, right? Tony Klein's got an account under the Yobo account.
Yep, that's true. Which, courtesy for me, I found that out through the Inquisitor. He's a good researcher. I think he found that one for me. How did you hear about it?
I think it was the same thing. And he uses the Emily Ann 45 as the name.
Yeah. I agree with Mandy in the chat.
That's Richard Allen's age, dude. That's Richard Allen's age at the time of the murder.
Yeah, whoever used Emily Ann is probably the murderer. At least has. I mean, I that's how I feel, dude. I
feel that.
Yeah,
Richard.
me too. He was closer to that age than Tony or Keegan. It was Richard's exact
45
age.
45 years old, dude. That was exactly the age when he committed the crime. I mean, I could see why he did that. You know, Emily Ann, the name is somehow significant to him. Somehow. You know what I mean? Like, it's like people don't just create some stupid name for no reason, unless you're an internet troll. You know?
Do you believe, Tony, Anthony, do you believe the girls was girls targeted, or was it just a random act?
At first, I thought this was just a chance encounter. I thought that the dude maybe had just been out there and was like waiting for an opportunity and took it because it was them two. Now, after all the Klein stuff came out and the catfishing and thing, I was like rethinking it all. Like, okay, wait a minute now. You know, I'm not used to stuff like that happening around here. So, like, the whole catfishing thing never really was a reality for me until it happened, and I saw it happen. You know, with him on her social media page, like the cops didn't tell us that he was on there, but when we all started looking into it and we started seeing it for ourselves, like, oh my gosh, man, Anthony Shots is on her stuff. Like, they are connected. They did communicate with this guy. This guy's the killer. You know, like,
and you could see right here, it's hard to see, but I blacked out most of the names there, but he had a young family member named Emily Ann, and she was residing in one of those towns that ISP was asking for information about, like Bunker Hill, and they asked for like
Bunker
5
Hill,
different towns.
It's
So-
Tony
Bunker
Klein's.
Hill.
Emily Ann is Tony Klein's nephew's daughter.
Right, and also it's so Keegan's pretty much like cousin, but they might call her niece, but they're technically cousins. One of those weird things.
Right.
But yeah, I think this. If anybody has any questions or you guys want to end off on any topics, I think we've had a good show today. You know.
I really appreciate you having me on, guys.
You too, Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Yeah, what's
so
up,
glad
bud?
to have you on. But I look forward to speaking to you off the camera as well too. About
Oh yeah. We've already talked several times. You know. I mean, it's like everybody giving me shit about it. And I said, look, man, people make mistakes in their lives. And this is the opportunity for him to prove himself. And it's like I told you when you first got out. I said, if you walk the straight line on the right path, you'll be just fine. Okay? I was giving you encouragement. And yes, people make mistakes. And if you say you've never made a mistake in your life, you're full of shit.
Yep.
And people have to learn from mistakes. It might take them a few times to learn, but as long as they learn, it's all that matters. Okay? I mean, I've made mistakes in my life, and I'll be the first one to admit it. You know, and I've learned from mistakes that I've made in my life. You know? I mean, when I first started doing this stuff with the Delphi case, like me and Graz got into it bad one time on Randy's platform, and ever since then, I've learned to keep my cool and try to work it out as adults and talk about it. You know what I mean? Now, as above, so below, I can't do that with him because he's just screaming and hollering every word that comes out of his damn mouth. You know? That's somebody you can't talk to.
No, you can't talk to someone who yells at you and it just will not admit defeat, you know?
Right. And I'm glad to see Graz is, he's turning himself around. I am really glad to see that.
That's nice of you to say, Frank. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You know, I mean, I might not know everything about Delphi, but I know a lot now that I've been into this over a year. I've basically crammed 6 years of information into my brain I got a photographic memory, and I can just about remember everything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if Anthony knows this, but when I was at the PCA hearing, I had a year's worth of research, documents, paperwork in my file, and I left it on top of Rick Shea's truck when we left Delphi, and it went flying all over Delphi, and they were posting my stuff up on the YouTube and Facebook and everything.
Man.
Yep. So I had to start all over again.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah.
So,
always.
I mean, it's to the point where I want to go back and start all over again because we're missing something. We are missing something out of all the information in the last 6 years, and no one's caught it yet.
Well, I mean, we were missing Richard Allen for the first 5.
Right.
He was right there. He was
right there, already been talked to. You know, and they even said that we would talk to you probably, or someone close to you. You know, it's
Right.
like, all right, dude. Well, just walk across the street. He's sitting over there at CPS. You know,
If it was him on the bridge, what I think would happen is that once the photo of Bridge Guy was shown on TV, he saw that, he's like, oh shit, I might as well go in there now and say, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I just said that to a relative of mine.
It was like the other week, I wasn't mad or anything, but I was wondering, Frank, like, do you think, just a friendly question, do you think it's okay to name the conservation officer's name, like, because it hasn't been mentioned yet? Because I've seen you name it.
It's been out there before I even mentioned it.
I would say it's okay to name him Graz. He's a public official. He's
His name was already released before I even said anything.
Okay, I'm just checking.
He's a public servant.
I'm out of the loop too. I didn't hear it.
I gotta back. Hold on, guys. I gotta back out and come back in again. Something wrong with my volume. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, they're just wondering how people got the name. I didn't know, but
I'm wondering how anybody even figured out it was a conservation officer anyway. And when was this interview? What day was it? Like, I never.
Yeah.
How do people find that out? You know, how do people find out there was a conservation officer? Who found that out and how?
Well, I'm not even in there yet.
You're good, Frank.
Okay. It was just the name that was thrown out there. That's all I know.
So
I don't know how it was thrown out there.
Actually, a person from a conservation officer, or we're all just assuming that may be right.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Honestly.
Okay.
Cool.
That's fine. I mean, hey, that's the best thing to know. So I mean, we haven't seen any proof yet.
Unrelated comment. What was it? Do you guys think Brian Koberger is the killer? I do. That was someone asked that in
Idaho?
In the comments.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I do.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Kind of ironic.
Oh yeah.
In Indiana, of all places,
yeah, twice.
like a few minutes apart. Yeah, that's weird. You know.
Definitely think
Were they just
so.
keeping an eye or what? Who knows? But
They were trailing him. They were trailing Kohlberger from all the way from Idaho to here.
They were looking. Yeah, they were watching the car. I'm sure.
Yeah.
What kind of car it was right off the road.
Right.
But, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to jump off here, guys.
Yeah, me too, man. It's getting late.
Dude, thank you guys for all coming today. We got channel links in the description, right? If not, we'll put them in there. We'll put Greeno, Alex, me, and True Crime with Frank and Marv. We'll put that in the description. We'll have those 4 channel links there. So yeah, we'll get out of here.
All right, guys. All right, Anthony, you know how to get a hold of me. You've got my personal number. Graz, much appreciated, man.
Yeah,
thanks for me and you talking about what happened back then. I'm glad we were able to work it out.
That makes me happy.
And hopefully we can work together sometime.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Peace out. One love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
you very much, everybody. Play something.
I'm gonna read my my book and then I'll play our outro. Got a little page here. I can't see. Got to get a short one because it's dark in here.
Read it up.
Okay. This one is a daily reflection. I read them on my channel sometimes. Called I Ask God to Decide. I pray that you now remove from me every single defect of character which stands in the way of my usefulness to you and to my fellows. Having admitted my powerlessness and made a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God, as I understood him, I don't decide which defects get removed, or in the order in which the defects get removed, or the time frame in which they get removed. I just ask God to decide which defects stand in the way of my usefulness to him and to others, and then I humbly ask him to remove them. Greeno, that was fun, man. That was a good idea to have this show tonight.
Dude, I love doing shows like this. This is my favorite thing to do. I love collaborations. I love getting other people on the panel and talking about things like this. This is what I want to do more often, is this, all the time. Pretty much.
Me too, man.
Tomorrow on my channel.
Yep. So, until next time. Oh, wait, we didn't.
I'm Anthony Greeno. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, hey, I can roll with it, dude. I'm a good. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Go ahead.
Until next time.
I'm Anthony Greeno alongside
Nick
Graziano.
We'll get it better next. It's all good. We'll get it good. All right, guys. See you later. Have a good night.
Peace out.
Swings like that of a
That was a
manic
good one.
depressive and has equal
Keep it
sexual
feathers
desires for
down.
both males and females.
Dear God, are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting?
That's right. A bipolar bear.
That is very stupid.
The patrol story is a very unusual one. I hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, it isn't the car that kills, it's the driver. This is Bradrick Crawford saying, see you next week.
Oh, you remember me? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, hello?
Hold on just a moment.
Oh, you remember me? Hello? Hi, yo, real quick, yeah, it's Hippo Lover 88. We played together online. I beat your pig nose in the game. You was talking smack about my mama. What's this? Your friend gave me your phone number. Thought you would talk about my saint of a mamas and did a win with it.
Dude,
you weren't getting off
I
that.
have not been playing any video game. Somebody's having you on.
I got my mama ain't fat. You probably look like a bag of grapes.
Well, be that as it may, I
sound scared. Yo,
look,
1v1 me right now. 1v1 me right now. Come on, I'm already on the game. What, you scared?
what are you talking about? I don't play any
I
video
don't got
games.
time for this. Either 1v1 me or take back what you said about my mama.
I didn't say anything about your mama, dude. I'm serious. I wouldn't say anything about someone's mom.
This is trained by trainhotline.com.
Hey. Think man can love two women at once? I mean, be in love with them?
I don't think that man can love. At least not the way that he means. The inadequacies of reality always set in. This pipeline is covering up this coast like a jigsaw. The place is going to be underwater in 30 years.
You wonder ever you're a bad man?
No, I don't wonder, Morty. The world needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door.
Today's appearance in Miami County Court was billed as Keegan Kline's final pretrial conference. As it turns out, there will be at least one more to come. Kline, now with close-cropped hair, appeared in court by video link from the Miami County Jail. The hearing agenda was short. Judge Timothy Spar granted a prosecution motion to amend many of the 25 charges Kline now faces at trial. The vast majority are child porn and child exploitation charges. The case against Kline, police say, includes an online alias he used, Anthony Shots, to communicate with underage girls to solicit photos. Among the girls Kline communicated with was Libby German. Klein has not been named as a person of interest in the murders of German and Abby Williams. Although after the arrest of Richard Allen in that investigation, Carroll County Prosecutor Nicholas McClellan disclosed investigators suspect Allen did not work alone. Now, in August, state police did an extended search of a section of the Wabash River near Klein's home, but did not report what they were looking for and what, if anything, they may have found. But at the very least, we do have a...
First, a Riverside woman said she was raped near a metro station last week, setting off a massive police search and putting a neighborhood in fear. Then Marianne Malik's story unraveled. As Pamela Jones shows us, police say she made up the story to persuade her daughter to move back into her apartment.
You're still trying to figure out, how could someone do that?
That's very sad. It's how a lot of residents and others in Riverside are reacting after finding out Marianne Malik, at the center of a rape investigation, made the whole thing up. Apparently, Malik...
But there's a list of things that they're going to ask. So the things that they bring up, they brought up friend 2 out of nowhere. I think Keegan brought up friend 1, like he brought him up. So that's not as important to me as what is the law enforcement, what do they bring up? And they brought this up right here, how you have it, the Country Club Road. Whose house is that? So they know something.
He's what could have been the one that accosted the girls. And this is why I find that particular paragraph that I read to you guys earlier oh, here we are. This point number 1, after information to be searched and things to be seized. Based on the aforementioned facts, I believe there is probable cause to believe that Ronald Logan has committed the crime of murder. That is so wrong. That is twisting the truth. Clear-cut case of twisting the truth.
I learned so much. And if you guys think you know the whole story, you've got something else coming. Trust me. If any of you people listening to this think for a minute that you know the true story of little Libby and Abigail, you have got something else coming.